You know what? The holiday season reminds me of SEC football. You need touchdowns over turnovers. So let me tell you about my friends who are ready to help. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union is ready to help you make this holiday season special for you and your family. They offer a special holiday loan at a very low interest rate and affordable payment to help you make those purchases for your family this holiday season. Oh, I get it. You're going all out this year. You're going to get that car, that boat, motorcycle, or camper for that special someone in your life. Alcoa 10 has the lowest interest rates around. They have money ready to lend you to help you make this holiday season one you would never forget. The process is fast, easy, and painless, and the decisions are made local. So you gotta give the loan experts at Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union a call, 865-977-3118, or check them out and apply online, atfcu.com. Better rates, better service, Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. ATFCU is an equal housing lender. When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
Good morning, individuals. 865-255-03 is our telephone number to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. The new SwainEvent.com, built by 42nd Street, designed Ben McKee, Charlie Burrs, Jason Swain here with you from 7 to 10 a.m. on a beautiful Thursday. Not yet. Ah, man, Thanksgiving's not here yet, huh?
If only.
What about a beautiful Wednesday?
It is not hump day.
No, not one day closer to Thanksgiving.
Nope, 2 days.
Tuesday, beautiful Tuesday here on 850 AM, 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports. 2 days till Thanksgiving. So you give thanks to all the many blessings that we have with the people that matter the most to you. And looking forward to that. If you are traveling, please be careful. Please be careful. Being 30 minutes late or an hour late is better than not showing up at all. So please be careful in your travels, crisscrossing the country. Spend time with those that mean everything in your life for Thanksgiving. Please be careful. All right, guys, we have moved past the Missouri game for the most part. If you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask. No problem there. But like we like to do here on Tuesdays, which is to break down the opposing team and talk about the next matchup over the weekend. And Tennessee Vanderbilt is here. Unfortunately, this game is positioned with all the great games in college football, all the great rivalries from Florida State, Clemson, South Carolina, the Egg Bowl, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Iron Bowl, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Notre Dame. All these rivalry games, Tennessee is right in the middle of all of those. So here we go. Tennessee, 5-6. Vanderbilt, 5-6. Same SEC West record as Vanderbilt's SEC East record, 2-5. Kyle Shermer, who seems to be a 6-year senior, is the quarterback. We have seen him grow. We've seen him develop. They have a running back that can get it done. The last 2 weeks, Tennessee has played against a running back that can get it done. Against Kentucky, got a chance to stop them. This week, Keyshawn Vaughn, he's done some damage in the SEC, and if you do not put a hat on him, he can't beat you. Kyle Sherman, if you give him enough time, and if he gets going, he can beat you. He has beaten Tennessee before, so he is not intimidated. He won't be afraid, and Vanderbilt's crowd will be rocking if we give them reasons to do so. Ben, Charlie, good morning, individuals.
Good morning. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. I don't know about their crowd rocking. I guess the third of the stadium that will have Vanderbilt fans in it will be jumping up and down if Tennessee screws this up. But the running back situation for Vanderbilt is very advantageous. They have a set of three guys: Keyshawn Vaughn, Jamari Wakefield, and Kari Blasingame, game that are averaging almost 200 yards per game collectively as a trio. It's not going to be a cakewalk, that's for sure. But it does play into Tennessee's strengths a little bit more than somebody like Missouri, and then that's a plus. We'll say that.
I remember the 2012 game, and I was there. I think I went to the 14 game too, but I remember their crowd's not big. It's not like it's Auburn or Alabama or anything like that, but they were loud. And Vanderbilt gave their team, the team gave the crowd plenty of reasons to be pumped about, but it won't be the loudest crowd that Tennessee has played in front of. But you don't want to allow Vanderbilt's crowd to give the players juice and vice versa. You don't want them feeding off each other, and that's what I saw both times I was there. That's what you want to prevent. Ben, here we go, man. You have, just like Auburn, there's connections. There's always connections between, Auburn and you and Vanderbilt, because you have someone there on the Vanderbilt team that you're really cool with, you're tight with, and this is gonna be a weird weekend for you, Ben.
Yeah, no doubt about it. My guy Charlie just mentioned him there. Kari Blasingame, he's a fifth-year senior. He graduated last May, and now he's pursuing a master's degree. I always forget it, but essentially he wants to be the CEO of a hospital one day. So maybe like business,
healthcare management.
Yeah, so I think it is that, something along those lines. So me and Kari played baseball together in high school, and then he also played football. Obviously, he had committed to Minnesota when James Franklin was still there, and James Franklin was sort of toying with him and whether or not he's going to offer him a scholarship, saying that, we'll come watch you in spring practice, and we'll see you at practice next week, and if we like what we see, we'll offer you. That was a weekly thing for Kari, and then once James Franklin left for Penn State, Derek Mason came in, offered Kari right away, and Kari instantly flipped from Minnesota to Vanderbilt, and he actually entered his college career as a safety, and then they moved him down to linebacker, started as a freshman on the road against Ole Miss, and then after that year they moved him to running back, and he's had a really nice, solid career. Really happy for him. Saturday will be senior day for him, so I got to talk to him. I guess it was Sunday night. We talked about just kind of where everything – he was actually asking me about Tennessee's team because they hadn't completely dove into film study just yet, so he was asking me about Tennessee.
What you tell him?
I'm not going to say on there.
Did you tell him do your own film study? That's what you should have said.
Actually, I don't mind sharing what I said because I told him it depends on which defense shows up, and I mean that's the same thing I would say on there. It really depends on which Tennessee defense shows up. If the one that shows up against South Carolina for a quarter or so, or if it's the one that shows up against Kentucky or Auburn for a little bit, then I think Tennessee has a great chance of winning this football game. But if the defense that shows up this past weekend or then the second half of the South Carolina game, they're going to get rocked. So it was really neat to talk to Kari, and I'm looking forward to seeing him on Saturday. And that running game is something serious. I believe that Keyshawn Vaughn is as good of a running back as Tennessee has seen since the Alabama game. I think he's as good as Benny Snell. He just doesn't get all the praise that Benny Snell does. And they also have Kari that they can run the ball with, and Jamari Wakefield. And lately they've been using Kari more, a lot of screen plays. When he comes in, it's almost a screen every single time. So I'm excited to see how this game plays out.
I think Benny Snell is good. I just don't think he's the best back in the league. Like a lot of people may think or may have said. I mean, he's productive. Mm-hmm. He has numbers. He's done it for a long time. But to me, he's not all that to me. And I don't want to take away from his great career at Kentucky. I'm just not blown away by his game. He's tough as nails. I like his mentality. I like how vocal he is. I like his confidence, but I think there's better backs in the league.
Yeah, he's just not super dynamic to me. I guess that's how I put it.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
He just runs guys over, and obviously that's a great trait to have as a running back. He's tough as nails, and he fights for those extra yards and whatnot. But Keyshawn Vaughn, he's just so explosive. I mean, he accelerates and decelerates so fast, and he's got the shiftiness to make you miss, and then he can also lower his head and run you over and catch the ball out of the backfield. I think Keyshawn Vaughn is a tremendous back, and if Tennessee isn't ready to stop the run on Saturday, Keyshawn Vaughn could run for 150 plus easy. And the past 2 weeks, his rushing totals have been two of the top 5 best in Commodore history, including his rushing total against Missouri is the most in a game by a Vanderbilt running back. So he's had a tremendous couple of weeks.
Derek Mason has done a pretty good job at Vanderbilt. I think people would agree. You can't say he's done a great job or a good job or a bad job. He's done a pretty good job. And even with a pretty good job, he's only won 38% of his games. I mean, it's crazy to think about that.
He's won, 23 games?
Yes. And you look at Vanderbilt's season. I remember the Notre Dame game. I remember the Kentucky game. And Vanderbilt had a chance to win. I mean, you look at their games. They haven't really been blown out except for one game. Maybe 2 if you want to count South Carolina. But, I mean, Georgia beat them down. But they were right there, had the lead against Florida for majority of the game.
Had a big lead against Florida at one point.
Yeah.
It was like 21-3 in the first half.
And allowed them to come back. They go on the road. They beat Arkansas, which is, I don't know how much that means because Arkansas is terrible.
I can't wait to talk about Arkansas when we do around the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas, they're just not good. And then, they got the win over Ole Miss. And I think there's a group of teams in the SEC that if you put them all together, one can beat the other on any given Saturday, to be honest. I think Tennessee is in that group with Missouri, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Arkansas, South Carolina. I think you just throw them all in the hat, and depending on the weather, who's feeling good, who gets going, play calling here or there, I think each team can beat each other, honestly. I can't imagine these seniors, after getting embarrassed at home, the way they did on Saturday, going on the road and not finding a way to win, in your last 2 games as a Tennessee Volunteer, you lost both of them. One to Vanderbilt that blocked you from going to a bowl game. I just can't imagine guys like Kyle Phillips going through that. Guys like Shot Tuttle going through that. I'm expecting their best performance of the season. I'm expecting it. They better bring it. because they're going to be needed. We'll take our first break of the day here on the Swain Event, 850 AM, 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports. Stay with us.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
November is a big shopping month. You know the big box stores are going to fight for your dollars, but do they care about anything else? Don't forget about your locally owned stores like Better Mattress. They care about way more than just your dollar, and they work harder to earn your business. That means you get a better product, better service, and better deals. During November, get an adjustable base for just $1 with select mattress purchase. That's a savings of up to $1,200. Better Mattress has prices, service, and products you can't get anywhere else. My Better Mattress adjustable base, you can get one for just $1 with select purchases at Better Mattress this month. Start shopping now at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End BBQ has a new slew of daily specials for the fall. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the smokehouse stew, barbecue cheddar meatloaf, or the smoked turkey and dressing, which includes sliced smoked turkey and cornbread dressing paired with sautéed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and a side of turkey gravy. While Dead End offers a different specialty meal each day, you can get their hillbilly chili every day. There is always something new at Dead End BBQ. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End BBQ. The fall flavor search is over.
Do you want a custom-themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
I've been waiting on this phone call. I've been waiting to talk to our guy, Andy, because Andy was right in the middle of a big Tennessee recruiting weekend. Andy loves chopping it up with the recruits, getting photos, letting them know how much the fan base wants these players. And he reports back to us on a Monday or Tuesday, and Andy's on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Andy, good morning, man.
What's going on?
What's up?
I tell you what, the coolest recruit that I have ever met that's committed to Tennessee was Savion Williams, the quarterback nightmare. He was, oh my Lord. He was so much fun.
What y'all do?
He's somebody
Y'all hang
you
out?
could literally. He's somebody you could take out and hang out with, and just have a freaking blast. And you know what he told Pruitt? He said, "This ain't happening next year, Coach." That's big right there.
Hey, we'll see, man. I remember the last JUCO player that said something similar to that. That was Jonathan Combo. We'll see.
At least Savion isn't guaranteeing wins over Alabama.
Well, that is true, but I want to see him do
Now,
it. I think he's
Nolan-
going to do it. I think he's going to do a lot, though. He's good.
Nolan Smith, I got a real good feeling. I think we got a real good chance to get Nolan Smith.
Andy, you do realize this is his first official visit. He's been committed to Michigan for Georgia forever. He has 4 more official visits. We were just the first. You really believe we have a chance with Nolan Smith?
I really do.
Well,
what? Go ahead, Charlie.
The real question here is, did he see the tattoos? Did Nolan Smith see the tattoos, Andy?
Savion had told him about them. I stripped, pretty much.
You stripped?
Wait, whoa. Did you say you stripped?
No, I mean, I took my shirt off, and yeah, so yeah, he got to see him.
Did you wave your shirt around in your head like a helicopter?
Like you just don't care?
No, but I should have.
Petey Pablo's disappointed.
I mean,
if he loved them though.
If that is the case, then frankly, to me, it's over. He's, I would say, what, 99% coming to Tennessee. He saw the. He saw the tattoos. What are we supposed to think? You know?
Done deal, baby.
The Smokey was his favorite.
They've done studies. 60% of the time, it works every time.
Mm-hmm. True story.
Yep.
True story. Well, Andy. I'm happy for you, man, because you get a kick out of that stuff, meeting those recruits. I know that if I was a recruit coming to Tennessee and I met someone like you, I would never forget, that experience.
You know who was really cool also? Elijah Simmons, the Bulldog.
Yes. Yeah.
That kid had got on the golf cart, had already sit down. He got up and took a picture. He didn't have to.
Probably because the golf cart couldn't move with him sitting on it.
Say that again, Andy.
I said he could have just said no, not I gotta go, but he didn't. He was cool as crap.
Good.
But we gotta get Vanderbilt.
Absolutely.
We gotta take care of Vanderbilt.
Absolutely. I hate that we're in this position, Andy. Thanks for the phone call. Really appreciate it. I hate that we are in this position where we have to count on this game to become bowl eligible. Tennessee is a 3.5-point underdog. That's where we are right now as a program. People are acting surprised. Oh, this is rock bottom. What are you surprised about? You knew at the beginning of the season that this team will be fighting to go to a bowl game. Now, we had some folks call in talking about 8-9 wins. Kevin, Aegis. It's all right. I'm thinking it's not his real name. It's his Twitter name. It's all good. And I was like, all right, man. I didn't want to crush Kevin's optimism. I didn't see it just on base what I saw at practice. I did see an improvement from last year. I did see this team possibly winning 6 or 7. I did not see 8 or 9. Vol Nation said 7, and we were really right there with a chance to win 7. You beat South Carolina, you beat Kentucky, you beat Auburn, but we are right where we thought we were going to be to start the season. Now, a 3.5-point underdog to Vanderbilt, okay, maybe you didn't see that one, but last time I checked, Vegas, they don't play the games. They don't play the games. Tennessee and Vanderbilt, they play the games. The coaches, they impact the games. We were talking about this during the break. If you're Kyle Phillips, how do you lose to Vanderbilt and never go back home? Because I'm from Alabama, and I lost one time to those dudes, and look at them now, and I think about going back home like, oh my gosh, I gotta hear this. I gotta deal with these sister lovers. Oh my goodness.
And Kyle Phillips did not redshirt correctly. He's just a true senior. Part of me wants to say he redshirted a year, but I hope that he did, because if he didn't, that means he went if he were to lose this weekend, he would go 1-3 against Vanderbilt in his college career.
I couldn't go back home if I'm Kyle Phillips.
He's a true senior. Yeah.
If he loses this weekend, he will finish his career at Tennessee 1-3 against Vanderbilt. 1-3. Do you know how mind-blowing that is?
That's genuinely unfathomable. When I think back to my entire history of Tennessee's games against Vanderbilt, starting, I was born in 1991. It is just, I can't even wrap my head around that there would ever be a player at Tennessee that would have a 1-3 record against Vanderbilt. That's absolutely insane. And yet here we are. It's hard to face that reality. It really is. I mean, that does it have the same gravity with these kids now, though? Because I guess Kyle Phillips probably
because
7 years younger than me, maybe.
Yes, for him it does, because he grew up in the mid-state and he knows what
I think
Vanderbilt
he
football
would.
is. But a guy that's from out of state may not. But,
yeah.
I mean, even on the flip side, Todd Kelly Jr. is a fifth-year player, and if he were to win this weekend, he would finish 3-2 against Vanderbilt in his career. And even that's kind of look at that a little sideways. Obviously, it's not Todd Kelly Jr.'s fault that Tennessee went 3, but just mind-boggling to lose to Vanderbilt twice in a career, because at one point Vanderbilt couldn't beat us once in like 30 years as a school. So
it was such a given when I, growing up watching Tennessee football. This game, you didn't think about it.
No,
it was like
chalked it up as a win.
It was like playing Northwest Tech State for the blind and deaf. Like Tennessee won 45-0 every game, and how did we get here? How did we get here?
Obviously, we do know from the Tennessee standpoint how we got here, but I do think from the Vanderbilt side, Vanderbilt has gotten better as the years have gone on.
Definitely.
Not to the point where they're competing in the SEC to go to Atlanta every single year, but they have gotten a little bit better. But even still, Swain mentioned this in the first segment. Derek Mason is going into year 7 next year if he survives this offseason, because there's a little chatter that he may not return. But even he's only won 23 games in 5 years.
Yep. It's not great. I do know. I talked to a good friend of mine who's a big Vandy fan this past weekend during the Ole Miss game, and I think what they want to see done is have Andy Ludwig be fired, the offensive coordinator, and I think that would pacify fans. They do not love Derek Mason, I would say. He's not in like the best of positions. But just from talking to a good friend of mine, that's a small sample size. It's one person.
I don't understand that, because the offense has not been the problem. Jason Tarver, their defensive coordinator, has been the problem. They can't get off the field on third down.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And when teams are getting in the red zone, they're scoring touchdowns almost every single time. Yeah. Their defense has been the problem this year, not the offense.
Scoring 26 points a game, giving up 26 points a game careerly.
You cannot win games if you allow your opponents to convert 47% of their third downs. That's trouble. Vanderbilt over the years used to be a team that you could start slow against first, second quarter, them give their all, and then you wake up and then still be able to beat them. The difference between Vanderbilt then and the Vanderbilt now is that you got to play for 4 quarters, because if you don't, they'll beat you. Now, if you play your best and they play their best, you should win 10 out of 10 times if you are a program like Tennessee. The difference, again, is that you can't just sleep on them. They'll beat you. They've had some confidence in the last couple of years. They've beaten the Ole Misses of the world. They've beaten Georgia. They've beaten Tennessee. So they have confidence that if they play their best, if they don't play timid, they don't play scared, that they can win against us. I think that's been the difference. They've had some NFL players, but really not enough to move the needle. But it's the confidence that's changed there on West End. If you don't come out and take those boys serious and play your best, they will beat you in 4 quarters. 865-200-5503. We got Around the SEC coming up next. Stay with us.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices. And during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted. Like a new Silverado, now 25% off. A new Equinox, now 20% off. And a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include all dealer savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GMF. Offer expires 8/31/18.
Big Orange football is better alongside another Tennessee tradition, Mrs. Grissom's salad. Mrs. Grissom's ready-made snacks and meals are perfect for game day. Crowd favorites like the select pimento cheese and cranberry pecan chicken salad are delicious and easy to grab and go right from the grocery store. Going to the game? Visit Mrs. Grissom's in Vol Village for the must-have panini grilled pimento cheese hot dog. Man, select the best. Select Tennessee's own Mrs. Grissom's.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End BBQ. And right now, we go around the SEC. So, Ben, take us on a field trip, my friend. Where are we going?
We are going everywhere. We have a lot to discuss today. The first thing I want to mention is that 2 Arkansas football players have been suspended. Wait for it. For flirting with opponents' cheerleaders instead of warming up. Yes, you heard that right. 2 Arkansas football players have been suspended for flirting with opponents' cheerleaders instead of warming up. Arkansas football coach Chad Morris announced yesterday that defensive backs Cameron Curl and Ryan Pulley would be suspended for this week's game against Missouri over some high school football type behavior. This is from Deadspin, and I almost said a cuss word. The pair apparently spent some time before last weekend's embarrassing 52-6 loss to Mississippi State, chatting up some Mississippi State cheerleaders and taking pictures with them instead of warming up with the team. They will not be here today or yesterday or any part of this week for unacceptable behavior, actions that are completely unacceptable to anything we're about, Morris said.
So what grade are these guys in?
Curl is a sophomore and has started all games at safety this season for the Razorbacks and has racked up 53 tackles. Pulley has started 9 games at corner in his junior season, which
Junior?
Yes. These are Arkansas's 2 top corners, and they're going up against Drew Lock this weekend without them. Y'all say a prayer for Arkansas.
What is Chad Morris doing? This is, to me,
Chad Morris?
This is
Chad Morris? What are the players doing?
Okay, well, I guess I just look at this and I just think it's who cares? Yeah, this is dumb, but like give them a talking to. Why do they need to be suspended?
Because how would you feel if on Saturday before Tennessee is getting ready to play Missouri, you saw Alante Taylor and Bryce Thompson over there flirting and chatting it up with the Missouri cheerleaders?
I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying the behavior is good, but a suspension? I mean,
cool with
if I'm Chad Morris, I'm like, boys, get your head in the game. This is stupid. Stop talking to the opposing cheerleaders, but suspending them against the best quarterback you're probably going to see all season? I don't know about that.
But see, that right there is why Butch Jones creates the culture that he creates. Because Chad Morris is in year 1 at Arkansas. You have to instill that culture, and this is part of it, in my opinion.
You got to lay the hammer down year 1. You do.
Yeah.
German Pruitt has laid the hammer down on some guys who, number one, some guys that didn't even make the trip. Like Sean Schamberger didn't even make the trip one game.
I believe it was Georgia.
You look at Jordan Murphy, who had the best camp out of any wide receiver, him and Josh Palmer. Jordan Murphy has not played as much as he should be playing because Pruitt has laid the hammer down about stuff like that. So year 1, yes, you do have to lay the culture down, lay the hammer down. I don't blame Chad Morris. You are a sophomore. You are a junior. You're supposed to be getting ready for the game. The last thing you should be thinking about is a tenderoni, trying to get fresh with the opposing cheerleader. Do you honestly think the opposing cheerleader is going to want to holler at you?
Maybe.
Number 1, it's a long-distance relationship. Number 2, you're on the opposite team. She's not going to give you her number out there in public. You're supposed to be getting ready for the game. That's the problem. Where's the leadership?
Exactly.
If I'm a captain on that football team, maybe I'm the one that said these guys can't play. If I'm not a captain, if there's no leadership, how did this happen? Where were the other guys around these players once this was taking place? Because it wasn't like these two were by themselves and no one saw them. Where were the rest of the Arkansas players that stepped in and said, dude, what are y'all doing, man? Get ready for the football game. This is a football game.
Probably why they're 2-9. Like, imagine, like, what would Al Wilson do if he saw Fred White and Deion Grant over there flirting with some Florida cheerleaders?
He would beat them down on sight.
I promise you Fred and Deion would not play that day.
No doubt.
They'd be on injured reserve.
You're jumping on Chad Morris? Charlie? What about the players?
It's stupid. That is a whole game suspension. Whatever. I get it. I get both sides. You get ready to play a football game, a SEC football game. I have never heard of this before. Ever. Yeah, I've never seen this.
I mean, I've heard about it after the game.
After the game, yeah.
Which is cool. But before the game, when you're warming up, and you are facing Nick Fitzgerald this weekend, or that particular day, and granted, he's not the greatest passing quarterback of all time, but he does share quite a few SEC records of his own. I think he's a cornerback that you need to be ready to play, and I just mentioned he's not the greatest passing quarterback of all time, but I want to say he had 2, 3, 4 passing touchdowns on the day.
I mean, he smashed Arkansas in that game.
Yeah, so Arkansas gets a big early for what, and just a few other things I want to mention before we get to John in Gainesville on the phone. The first one being that Javonte Payton Tennessee target, JUCO receiver from Hillsborough High School in the Mid-State, did commit to Mississippi State yesterday. That felt a little weird, kind of out of nowhere. It felt like Tennessee was leading for him for a while, but he did commit to Mississippi State, so Tennessee continues to be out there for, I can't remember the other two guys.
Chaffee Brown and Jalen Ellis. So we'll talk to Austin Price at 9:15, and we'll get the scoop on Tennessee being able to get a speedy wide receiver on the outside because Javonte Payton was supposed to be one of those speedy guys, a 4-4 flat type of player, and now he has committed to Mississippi State. So does that mean Jalen Ellis is a lock? Does it mean Chaffee Brown is a lock? Two speedy wide receivers that Tennessee is recruiting.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tennessee has to get one of those guys for sure, just because they will bring an element to the receiver room that Tennessee doesn't necessarily have right now. And then two other things real quick. Woody Womack tweeted yesterday that sources tell him that former Clemson quarterback Kelly Bryant has scrapped his official visit to Miami this weekend and will instead use his last official visit to go to Auburn next week, which I believe will be his second visit to Auburn. And at this point, I would be surprised if Kelly Bryant does not go to Auburn, which in the long run of things, I am a little bit surprised because I did think he would end up at Arkansas with Chad Morris just because of that relationship that he had with him at Clemson.
I wouldn't want to go play with those teammates. They're not serious about winning.
No, he probably
trying to holler. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Holla, 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 holla. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Holla, 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 holla. Before the game? Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Not a great.
Those dudes embarrassing, man. I don't know if I would be able to go back into the locker room after that. How do you get suspended for not being ready for the game because you're trying to talk to females?
It's ridiculous.
That's bad. That's embarrassing, man. Seriously.
It is. It is. And then I don't know if you guys saw this, but over the weekend, Laura Rutledge had a rough day on the sideline in Athens. She was completely run over when she was about to do her hit on the sideline. She was run over by a Georgia and a UMass player that were blocking, and the Georgia player that ran her over was Prather Hudson. And so Laura Rutledge tweeted out the video of it and said, "Took an L in Athens today. So many thanks to everyone at Georgia Athletics for the help after this happened, even though I'm a Gator." So Prather Hudson, the guy that ran over Laura Rutledge, quoted this tweet and said, "Hey, Laura Rutledge, really sorry I knocked you down, but I can pick you up at 7 with the sunglasses emoji."
Shoot that shot. Shoot that shot, buddy. Shoot that shot. All right, let's get to the phones.
We got John in Gainesville.
John, good morning.
Good morning, man. In defense of those Arkansas players, I have heard a former Tennessee coach say to keep the eyes on the thighs. So maybe that's what they were doing.
Correct. Yeah, wrong thighs, man. The thighs with the with the thigh pads in them, not the thighs with that's not covered.
Hey, can't go wrong with them thighs.
Oh, man.
Hey,
just saying.
I didn't want to say this yesterday because I didn't want to keep it going anymore about the quarterback stuff.
Yeah.
Swain, I really feel like part of the problem in this whole situation is you actually got a couple former quarterbacks ripping Garantano on a regular basis. I don't know why they've chosen to do this on live radio. But, yeah, that's where a lot of it's coming from, being fed from. And it's really a shame. That's the kind of stuff I always like to know that it's kept in-house. Maybe it's expected, but, that's something between y'all as a fraternity should be kept closed between y'all. So
yeah, I don't know what was said, John. I'm not
going to laugh. Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. I get it. I got it. I mean, I can put two and two together. I will say this: we don't know their reads. We don't know their progression. We don't know what they've been told to do. So quarterback play 10 years ago is different from quarterback play now. Quarterback play 25, 30 years ago is different. You have RPOs that's built into plays now. RPOs that are built into plays now, where if you get a certain look, you take the ball from the running back's belly and you're throwing it. Or vice versa, if you get a certain look, you're giving the ball to the running back, and the receiver is running a route. So I understand there's folks that got to do their job. There's folks that have to be fair and honest. I do think there's a way to package things. I think a lot of people are off on Jared Garantano, to be honest. Yeah. And I'm kind of disappointed that there's folks in this town that have continued to rip on Jared without really understanding what he's gone through at Tennessee, what the dynamic of this current team right now. To be an insider, to know everything that's going on around Tennessee, but not know where Jared's come from and what he's dealt with to where he is right now, to not know that, take that in consideration when you are critiquing is pretty disappointing. Jared, for those who say he can't read coverages and he can't count, the dude threw 2 interceptions all year long. There's no way that you would only throw 2 interceptions if you can't read coverage. Because if you can't read coverage, there's going to be many times when you're throwing it into cover 2 thinking it's cover 1, or throwing it into cover 3 thinking it's cover 2, or throwing it in cover 1 thinking it's cover 3. You're going to throw interceptions because you've been fooled. And Jared has only thrown 2 picks all year in SEC play. That's freaking remarkable. That does not speak to a guy who can't read coverages. Florida game, people were talking about he couldn't count because of the blitz. And then it comes out that it wasn't on him, it was on the offensive line. Jeremy Pruitt comes out yesterday and talks about a couple of the sacks, one being on the offensive line, one being on the running back. But this narrative that the dude's not smart, it's really annoying, and it's just not true. Like the guy is smart. He is a sophomore on his 3rd offensive coordinator. He is a sophomore. Josh Dobbs, was he the same player as a sophomore as he was as a senior? Absolutely not. Let the kid grow. Let the kid get better. Let more talent around him develop, and then we'll see where we are. I think we're in a good spot with Jared, and I think there should be a quarterback competition in the spring because I think every position should be up for competition in the spring. You don't have a lockdown position.
Here's the thing, I think people already forget where we were last year. We're already better than we were last year. We're already at 5 wins, talking about a bowl win. And that's what I said at the beginning of the year. I didn't see how we got to 5. I was out front and honest with it because we were so putrid last year. So in my mind, this train's already heading in the right direction. And I just, like you said, I'm going to just echo it one more time. Quit pitting these quarterbacks against each other. They both wearing the power tee. If Will McBride's in there, cheer for him. It's not Will McBride against Chris against Garantano. It's all for one for all, Tennessee. So I just thought I'd throw that in there and let you know where a lot of this is coming from and being fed, and people get that little soundbite and run with it. So there you go, man. I appreciate it, man. Love the show.
Thank you, man.
Well, to your point, John and Gainesville, and your point, Swain, Pruitt kind of talked about what went wrong on those first 2 series yesterday in his opening state of his press conference. He said one time in the 7-man protection, the running back picked up the wrong guy. Another time we had another 7-man protection, and a miscommunication up front led to negative plays that contributed to us starting off slowly.
That's the quote that I was thinking of.
But let's blame the quarterback when the head coach of the football team that a lot of people praise comes out and directly says that it's not on the quarterback, says it's on the running back, on the O-line in those particular instances. But let's still talk about how Jared Garantano can't count, how he can't read blitzes, how he can't read coverages.
He is a sophomore. He's a sophomore on his 3rd offensive coordinator, and the dude has had no protection all year long. He has played through messed up ribs and messed up bones, collarbones or whatever, and now he's dealing with a concussion. He has played his butt off. He's tough as nails. He inspires his teammates. There's no friction between him and Keller. Keller has not been like, oh, man, why am I not playing? He knows why he's not playing.
He's a phenomenal teammate.
Yeah, he's a great teammate. He knows why he's not playing. Everyone in that building knows why he's not playing. But outside the building, there's this narrative that's been drummed up that Keller needs to play and Keller is getting treated unfairly. And why did Keller come to Tennessee, if he wasn't going to play? And why would y'all get him here? Keller knows the deal. He knows what he signed up for. He knows the deal.
And
no one tricked him.
What's funny about you saying, oh, why did you bring him here if you're not going to play him? On the flip side of that, if Jeremy Pruitt doesn't go out and get Keller and Jarrett gets hurt like he has several times this year, you would be criticizing the head coach for not going out and getting an experienced quarterback that can serve as a backup.
I think it's pretty irresponsible, man. This is why quarterbacks, when they leave here,
they don't want to come back.
They don't want to come back. I hope people understand. I mean, has Casey Clausen did an interview around here? I was a teammate.
And he's done one like over the last 5 years.
I can't even get him.
Go listen to the interview with Jonathan Crompton we did on Swain Event Plus.
I mean,
he felt extremely alienated. Had a really hard time coming back.
Most quarterbacks feel that way.
Yep.
When they play here, and you'll say, "Oh, get over it. You're soft, whatever." That's fine. You say that, but we expect these dudes to be Peyton Manning the day they walk on campus, and they're not. They have to grow and develop. Every quarterback has went through that. Eric Ainge has went through that, where he had to grow and develop. Peyton Manning went through that. Tyler Bray went through that. Josh Dobbs went through that. You have to grow and develop. Jared is a sophomore. This is his first year playing without dysfunction. His first year playing without dysfunction. I want you to keep saying that to yourself. First year playing without dysfunction in our first year under a new offensive system.
Heck, there's even been
but
dysfunction up front.
But he can't count. Come on, man. It's irresponsible. Swain Event, be right back.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Today looks to be sunny with a high of 69 and a low around 51. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high of 72 and a low around 61. There is a 90% chance of rain on Thursday with highs in the upper 60s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com.
Gentlemen, when it comes to taking care of your health, sometimes the first step is the hardest. Low T Center is making it easier to take that first step. It all starts with knowing the numbers that are essential to a man. Testosterone levels, blood pressure, cholesterol, prostate, and thyroid. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to get all these levels checked and more. Low T Center specializes in men's health and has expanded their services, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, hypertension, severe allergies, high cholesterol, diabetes, and annual physicals, along with testosterone replacement therapy. The physicians at Low T Center not only want to help you feel good again, they want to help you prevent any serious health problems moving forward. Now, with the holistic approach to your overall health and wellness, Low T Center is making it more convenient for men to take care of their health, and most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify for you. Take the first step for your health and call 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388, or go to lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare.
Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain Event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
It's almost football time in Tennessee, which means it's time to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Tommy Bahama, and all those retro logos you love. Don't forget about your game day crew. Plenty of selection for the ladies, the little balls, and to upgrade their tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com.
More than 23 million Americans have diabetes. Uncontrolled diabetes increases your chance of kidney disease, leg and foot ulcers, and even limb amputation. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and the vascular surgeons at Premier Surgical Associates urge those with diabetes to keep it under control. Manage your blood sugar levels, exercise, don't smoke, and get regular checkups. It's also important to keep your feet and legs healthy. Diabetes makes it harder for wounds and infections to heal. Diabetes is a chronic condition, but it can be managed. Visit premiersurgical.com right now for more information. Premier Surgical Associates. Expertise you can trust.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy.
All right, we got one Attaboy today. Attaboy is brought to you by Premier Surgical and premiersurgical.com.
November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month, and the surgical oncologists of Premier Surgical want you to know the risk factors and symptoms. If you experience back pain, bloating, trouble digesting food, and unexplained weight loss, you may want to visit your doctor. Those are the symptoms of pancreatic cancer. If you are at risk and experience these symptoms, talk to your physician right now. For more information about surgical treatment of pancreatic and other cancers, visit premiersurgical.com. Premier Surgical, expertise you can trust. I just have a quick attaboy for the Nashville Predators as an organization. Obviously, they're playing really good hockey right now, first in the league. That's great, but they did something even cooler than playing sports, or playing a game last night. They welcomed Ethan McLean to a game. And who is Ethan McLean? He is a young boy from Northern Ireland who has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's a disorder that wastes away his muscles. And they brought in Ethan and basically unrolled the red carpet, gave him the full experience. He got to meet Nash. He got to meet all the players. He got to go back to the locker room. And they did all of this for him, let him experience a hockey game, and it was amazing because his family, because of all of his medical bills and the situation that they're in, has a hard time paying for things, and the Predators treated them to all of this and gave him an amazing experience. There's an article about it on ESPN, and I'll link it in the show notes because it's a really, really cool story about a cool family and a great thing that the Predators did last night. So just want to give them an attaboy, and that's all I got for today.
I like it. 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 865-250-503, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline.
Speaking of sports teams in the state of Tennessee.
Grizlies, man, y'all first place.
Tied for first.
Tied with like 8 other teams, right?
4, I think. 3 or 4.
Had Luka Doncic in handcuffs last night, did Mike Conley.
They're playing good basketball. I mean, that's just the truth right now.
Yeah, hey,
I love
you might
it.
get to the playoffs.
What's cool is that they're playing good team basketball. It reminds me of the Vols and how they play team basketball.
Yep.
They share it. They played great defense.
Really?
It's fun to watch. Yeah, really.
Vols. Okay. Listen, I'm not going to crush your shine, man. I'm happy for the Grizzlies. I want them to go to the playoffs. They're the in-state team, but it is an 82-game season. 865-250-503. Quick timeout. Touchdown turnover coming up next.
If you love the Swain Event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the comments, man. I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Reel on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
I had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain Event.
November is a big shopping month. You know the big box stores are going to fight for your dollars, but do they care about anything else? Don't forget about your locally owned stores like Better Mattress. They care about way more than just your dollar, and they work harder to earn your business. That means you get a better product, better service, and better deals. During November, get an adjustable base for just $1 with select mattress purchase. That's a savings of up to $1,200. Better Mattress has prices, service, and products you can't get anywhere else. My Better Mattress adjustable base, you can get one for just $1 with select purchases at Better Mattress this month. Start shopping now at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com. You know what? The holiday season reminds me of SEC football. You need touchdowns over turnovers. So let me tell you about my friends who are ready to help. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union is ready to help you make this holiday season special for you and your family. They offer a special holiday loan at a very low interest rate and affordable payment to help you make those purchases for your family this holiday season. Oh, I get it. You're going all out this year. You're going to get that car, that boat, motorcycle, or camper for that special someone in your life. Alcoa 10 has the lowest interest rates around. They have money ready to lend you to help you make this holiday season one you would never forget. The process is fast, easy, and painless, and the decisions are made local, so you gotta give the loan experts at Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union a call, 865-977-3118, or check them out and apply online, atfcu.com. Better rates, better service, Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
All right, touchdown turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union. I'll make this really, really easy for you guys. Touchdown turnover. Last night, Monday night football game between the LA Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs, which featured an over of 100 points. We had
105
big-time plays. You had defensive plays all across the field. Last night's game was good for the NFL, touchdown or turnover.
I say touchdown. You had everybody watching this football game last night. Obviously not everybody, but I guarantee you the ratings are going to be through the roof. The second highest scoring game in NFL history. Pat Mahomes was terrific. 6 touchdown passes, 478 passing yards. Jared Goff, 400 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, this game was so phenomenal that and so many people were making plays that Todd Gurley had 12 carries and Kareem Hunt had 14 carries, and those are 2 of the best running backs in the entire league. So I think last night was a phenomenal football game. If you were on Twitter last night, Twitter was blowing up because of this game as if it were the AFC-NFC championship game, a Super Bowl or a championship-style game, you know, in the NBA Finals or the college football playoff or the Super Bowl. Twitter blows up for 3-4 hours of just constant tweeting about every single play, and that's what it was like last night, and I think this is tremendous for the game of football. Now, I know there's some old folks I should not say that. Some older people, traditionalists who were brought up on defensive football who were not fans of it. But for somebody like me who loves offensive football more than defensive football, I loved last night, and I think it's great for the game.
You and me cannot be more on the same page, Ben.
That's the first.
Well, truly, this is a huge touchdown for me. The last couple of years, the NFL has really been in a rut. The product as a whole, just specifically in the regular season, just wasn't that good. And this season, I mean, they've had a revolution of sorts. It just really, the quarterback play has been stepped up. The star skill players are just really amazing to watch. And just in general, the product's been really, really entertaining. And you gotta give credit where it's due. And I think this game was the culmination of that comeback of sorts, the comeback sort of from the doldrums that the NFL have been in the last couple of years. And it was amazing. And yeah, I know there are people that the defensive football is better. That's better football. And for the mass audience, if you are the NFL, you want as much audience as possible. I don't know how you would see this as a bad thing. Was the defense great? No, it was actually not terrible. Dudes were just making plays, but it's just incredible. These are the two best teams in the league, and you got the Saints in there too, but they're not playing either of these dudes. These teams, and so I loved it. It was amazing. I watched the entire time, and I don't do that a lot with the NFL. I'll go in and out of games that are the good games, and other than that, I don't watch it a ton outside of the Titans. This I wanted to watch the entire time.
32 teams, 16 games in the regular season. There's a ton of really good football. I think in the last couple of years, the primetime games have not been ideal, especially the Thursday night games. When you have one team playing on a Sunday and then turning around and playing on a Thursday, they're going to be flat. And what we've seen is the opposing team, the home team, has taken advantage of that, and the game has been lopsided. The Thursday night games have been poor over the last couple of years. I think they have improved this year. The Monday night games, we've gotten some really good matchups, and last night was phenomenal. We got offense, and we also got some defense, because this is why we got some defense. Aaron Donald should be mentioned in the MVP race, because the dude was wrecking Kansas City's offensive line, getting to the quarterback, causing fumbles, sacking the quarterback. Aaron Donald should be mentioned in the MVP race. It should be him. It should be Drew Brees. It should be Patrick Mahomes. To me, those are your three.
Listen to this stat from last night. This was on Monday Night Football last night. Shocking. Aaron Donald leads the NFL with 13.5 sacks so far this season, and he has been double-teamed on 72% of all snaps.
That's not even remarkable. What's remarkable is that he's a defensive tackle.
Well, sure.
And he's doing that. A defensive tackle is not supposed to do that.
Interior lineman just wrecking people.
Let's go to the phones, and who we got first?
We got Concrete Vol.
Concrete Vol, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I think you're dead on the Jarrett Grantano situation or
ridiculous.
Criticism or whatever.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And the biggest thing is, what you're talking about, other quarterbacks. Hang on. You got quarterbacks that don't come back or are not comfortable coming back or feeling pressure. And the names you mentioned are primarily before all this social media we have now.
Yep.
I mean, I remember, you said everybody's not going to be Peyton Manning when they walk on campus. And I'm old. I remember sitting in the stadium in Peyton's freshman year and people wanting Brandon Stewart. But Peyton's only in there because of his last name, and Brandon Stewart's more athletic, and he's a better quarterback. Now, Brandon Stewart was a good quarterback, but I think everybody would choose Peyton right now. So I've heard a few players say recently, I don't know if it's Tennessee players, but even in the pros, traditionally players always say, we don't pay attention to the criticism. We don't pay attention. We don't read that in the paper. But nowadays with Twitter and Instagram and everything else is going, they can't avoid it. There's no way they can avoid it. And that's not right. It's just not. That's why I don't boo in the stadium. That's why I don't rip the players on social media. Not that they read me in particular, but it's just that it's just not right to cut on amateur athletes. I mean, to this day, we still don't know how Jarrett would play with a line that blocks. So that's my 2 cents worth.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And here's my rule on critiquing our players or any player, because they are amateurs. If you give me effort, if you give me teamwork, if you give me unselfishness, then I don't really rip on players. Now, if you are exhibiting conduct detrimental to the team, you get ripped here on the Swain Event. Period. If you show poor effort, if you're not giving your all, you get ripped here on the Swain Event. Because playing football at Tennessee or playing football in the SEC is a privilege. It's not a right. And there's hundreds and hundreds of players who don't get a chance to play in this conference because they're not physically good enough that will give their left arm to play in this conference. Khalil Mack went to Buffalo, and look where he is right now. A guy like Patrick Willis went to Ole Miss when he wanted to crawl here to Knoxville. If you are not willing to do it, you're no better than someone who can't. One that won't is no better than one that can't. And so if you don't give me effort, if you don't lay it out on the line, you're getting ripped on the show. Sorry, mom and dad. Teach your son to give better effort. If your conduct is detrimental to the team, where you're the main reason for dividing a locker room, you get ripped. Sorry, mom and dad. Teach your son about teamwork. But if you give me your all and you're being a good teammate, I understand you're going to make mistakes. You are a human. You're not going to play perfect. You're going to need time to develop. You're getting better each and every day. You're developing as a young man, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, physically. Like, you're doing that. And so if you don't make a play, man, I'm not going to rip you to shreds. I'll say, hey, you didn't make that play. You got to make the next play. God, we got to win those reps. We got to win that battle. I remember when Inky Johnson almost died on the football field because he was straining to make a tackle for his team, for his school, for his state, for his fan base. And these players, they do the same thing each and every day. They give it their all. They're in the weight room. They're in the training room. Everybody's beat up. It's a mass unit. They're in the training room. They're sleeping in the training room. They're staying there till 10, 11 o'clock at night just to be able to play. And you're going to play games at this point in the season when you're 70% and you're going up against a guy who maybe is 80, 90%. But you're still expected to win the reps. And I look at a guy like a Jared Garantano. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that would have lasted this long. Brett Schaefer broke something his freshman year. Eric Ainge broke something his freshman year. I remember Casey Clausen breaking something his junior year, couldn't play. This game is physical. Man, these dudes put their life on the line. And there's one thing to critique somebody and say, okay, he didn't make the play. That's fine, whatever. This is Tennessee, it's big boy football. No one expects our players to be coddled. No one expects no one to say anything that's not negative to them. But there's a line. I think there's always a line. At the end of the day, you on the couch. And these dudes out there every single day busting their butt. There's a line. And I'm not speaking to the majority. I'm speaking to a small number. But it bothers me because I take pride in Tennessee. I take pride in Tennessee. I take pride in our program. I want dudes coming back. I get excited when someone calls me and say, hey, Swain, I'm coming back, man. I'm coming back. I love that. Like, I honestly feel bad about the situation with Josh Dobbs and Tennessee fans. Like, that bothers me. It bothers me. Because I'm so proud of a dude like Josh Dobbs that came in, had his head coach undermining him and telling everybody how bad he was, who was passed over by Worley, Riley Ferguson, Nathan Peterman. Everybody wanted them. And then Josh Dobbs gets in, and then he proved himself, and the rest was history. Dude is a great ambassador for the University of Tennessee. If I had a son, I would tell him, be like Josh Dobbs. And I want that dude to come back all the time. I want our players to come back all the time. And there's a line between being too sensitive, watching social media, letting that stuff bother you, and some of our fans just chilling out on crossing the line. You can't do what they do. You're not an expert. I'm sorry to break it to you, but everyone wants to be an expert. Everyone wants to break the game down and want to be experts and pretend like you're not an expert. You think Jeremy Pruitt is going to play some dudes that's not going to help him win? What sense does that make? You know more than Jeremy Pruitt? I played the game for 4 years in the SEC, and he knows more about offensive football than I do. And he's been a defensive coach all this time. Like, you smarter than Jeremy Pruitt? You're smarter than Jeremy Pruitt. You know more about football than Jeremy Pruitt. Really? Now, if you want to say Butch Jones, okay, I get you, because Kamara and her and all that stuff. I understand. But you're smarter than Jeremy Pruitt? I had someone email me yesterday. Man, I just think that. You think what? You think you're smarter than Jeremy Pruitt? Is that what you think? You think you put in more time than Pruitt? These coaches up there from 7 in the morning to 11 at night. 7 in the morning, 11 at night. Every day. You smarter than them? Come on, man. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the phones. I gotta get the caller. I gotta get him.
There's no caller.
There's not anybody? Okay. I saw someone. I saw the light blinking.
That's Contract Vol just listening to you preach.
Okay, man. I take pride in this program. I take pride in this community. I want our guys coming back. Sorry. Swain Event, be right back.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End BBQ has a new slew of daily specials for the fall. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the smokehouse stew, barbecue cheddar meatloaf, or the smoked turkey and dressing, which includes sliced smoked turkey and cornbread dressing paired with sauteed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and a side of turkey gravy. While Dead End offers a different specialty meal each day, you can get their hillbilly chili every day. There is always something new at Dead End BBQ. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End BBQ. The fall flavor search is over.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
If you aren't following the Swain Event on Twitter, then are you even on Twitter? Hit that follow button. It's the right thing to do.
Hour 2 is brought to you by Alumni Hall here in the Swain Event, alumnihall.com. Take a look at the text box this morning. We're supposed to be talking about Vanderbilt today. But get a little sidetracked, get some good phone calls and kind of get my feelings a little bit, but it's all good. Let's see here.
We got some folks up in their feelings, I noticed, on the text box about lauding that football game last night. Just like I think we thought we would. There are people who say, "Oh, the defense is a lost art." It's an entertainment product, not a defensive product.
I mean, the rules have slanted towards the offense. There's no doubt about that. When you look at where the money is made with the quarterbacks in this league.
Yep.
And you got to protect the quarterbacks. And when you see Tom Brady get hurt for the season, that affects the game. That affects the product of the NFL. And so they want to do everything they can to try to protect the quarterbacks. And that is true. I get frustrated with some of the calls, but to see two of the best teams battle it out, two teams have only lost one game, that's pretty freaking good. To possibly get a Super Bowl preview, that's good. I don't understand
the Saints and the Steelers weren't playing last night.
Possibly getting a Super Bowl preview. You got two of the better teams in the league. I think that's good for football. And then you got the performance from Aaron Donald, who changed the football game by his play. Mm-hmm. You got some defense. I think it's great that a defensive tackle is now mentioned as far as being an MVP. I think he should be.
Let me ask you this. Roquan Smith or Aaron Donald?
Aaron Donald.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious.
What kind of question is that?
They're the two best defensive players in football. I don't think it's an
Roquan
absurd.
Smith?
Not Roquan Smith.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah, Khalil Mack. I'm sorry. Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald is what I meant to say.
Aaron Donald right now.
I would put it this way. Up until this past week when they got shredded by Andrew Luck, the Titans had the number one scoring defense in the NFL. They've been playing really, really great defense. Held the Patriots to 10 points. What would you rather watch? What we saw last night or the number one scoring defense in the league?
What we saw last night.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of the Titans, after that beautiful Monday Night Football game last night, we have to turn around next week and watch the Titans and the Texans play.
Now, I will say
that'd be a good game.
No, I know. I'm just ribbing at Charlie.
I was genuinely surprised. The Titans and the Cowboys ended up being not terrible, because the Titans have this reputation of just being a bore fest, and rightfully so. But genuinely, that game was pretty good. A little bit back and forth. Mariota made some magic. I mean, it was...
The problem is we, as a society, we are ADD. We have short attention spans.
Correct.
And we need to be entertained to enjoy something. Like, that's the problem. Mm-hmm. We are a microwave society. The way we get our news is different. People complain about clickbait articles. Well, why do you think those things exist? Because the consumer needs a clickbait title for you to click on them. Because they know your attention span is very short. So articles are now shorter. Videos are now shorter. Twitter is really popular because you only use 280 characters. So that's the problem, is that our attention spans as a society is shorter because we all ADD sometimes.
You should. Right. Oh, go ahead. Do what you're gonna do.
Oh, we can go to Volstorm. I mean, he's not that important. We can wait to hour 3.
What you call him, Volstorm or Vol Sprinkles?
Well, I personally like Vol Sprinkles.
Or Vol Dribble. But Vol Drizzle.
When I answered the phone, he threatened that I was going to have a funeral before I got to my wedding, so I decided to go with Volstorm today.
He's gonna beat you up. Volstorm, good morning.
He ain't gonna make it to the wedding. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He keeps it up, you're gonna be one less. You're gonna have one less person in the booth with you.
Fight.
I don't have a comment. No comment.
Smart.
Control your boys, Wayne.
Ben's being so I won't get fined.
Ben's being smart, man. He's being smart right now.
You know, I can proudly say that I do not know as much about watches as Butch Jones.
No, you don't.
What about shoes? Or edits?
Baby shoes? No, I don't know as much about baby shoes.
What about man spanks?
Oh God. I don't know as much about getting the trainers to.
Hey now.
I'm gonna keep it clean.
Hey now.
What about chip dip?
Hey now. Hey now.
I don't even think he knows about chip dip.
Hey now. All right, Volstorm. What's on your mind, man?
Oh, come on. It's a short week. We can have a little fun.
Yeah, we can. Go ahead, man.
I ended up watching that whole game last night, and that was a hell of a game. I mean, just sitting there watching the back and forth, and I really wanted it to get down to the Chiefs getting down close to the goal line and having to make a goal line touchdown for the win. You know, it was I kind of hate the way it ended, but man, what a game!
Hey, different strokes for different folks, man. Some people like it, some people don't. I respect people's opinion there. I enjoyed the game. I enjoy football so much that I can take a 10-9 game. I can take a 52-50 game. I can find ways to like both outcomes, to be honest.
It was just, I'll tell you what, until you get to see Drew Brees and the Saints play the Chiefs, I mean, that's going to be probably one of the best games all year.
It's a great one, man. It might be better than the Super Bowl. Honestly, it might be.
Somebody joked last night that they should just replay Rams Chiefs on the day of the Super Bowl than actually playing a live Super Bowl.
Yeah, because let's be honest here. The Super Bowl is going to involve the Patriots. They always find a way. That's what they do. It's Bill Belichick. It's Tom Brady. And it's not going to be as exciting as that game last night. We got to be honest here. So just put that tape on. I enjoyed it.
I'm about to chunk my shoe at you like Josh Richardson chunked his into the stands the other night.
I mean, it was basically like a Super Bowl game that had halftime entertainment. The chain smokers or whatever it was.
That was not halftime.
That was awful.
Quote unquote entertainment.
Like Volstorm said, that was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, the game was so interesting that Charlie actually turned from the Preds game and watched part of it.
No, I didn't. The thing is that I didn't. I was dual screening it. I've been blessed. I got me a computer and an iPad that I was watching, so I didn't even have to flip over.
Wife had control of the TV, didn't she?
She did, in fact. The funniest thing, this is way beside the point, my wife is addicted to Red Dead Redemption 2. She has been playing it.
Who is it?
Seriously, though, it's just hilarious. That's well, maybe you guys aren't, but if you bought the game, you would be. So
I mean, if you want to pay for it, I'll happily play it.
It's a great game. But anyway.
All right, boys. We all keep it out of the ditch. We'll holler at you later.
See you, man.
Really, my only gripe last night with the game was the officiating. I didn't think the officiating was all that great. You mentioned a moment ago that the game of football in the NFL is geared towards the offense now. That couldn't be more the truth, because last night you had a defender go to take out the knees, not maliciously, just to make a tackle of a bigger guy. I believe it was on a tight end, and the offensive football player lowered his helmet, and as a result went helmet to helmet with the defensive player, and they called a flag on the defensive player for leading with his helmet when he didn't have anything he didn't do anything wrong. What else do you expect him to do?
Yeah. I mean, that's when you have the rules change to try to protect guys' long-term health, you're going to have some calls like that. I get it from the NFL game. The college game has been terrible because players get ejected and then they can't play the next game. That's what's the difference for me with the NFL and college is, okay, a 15-yard penalty, that's cool. You can overcome that and still win the game. At least you still get to play. But for the college kids, if you hit someone like that in the third quarter, you can't play for the first half of the next game? I think that's stupid. I think it's ridiculous. I hate that rule. I hate it. I hate it for Missouri. I hate it for Tennessee. I hate it for us. I hate it for our opponents. I hate it. 15-yard penalty, and you can get ejection for that game, but for the next game, come on, man.
That's where you need common sense. You can tell when somebody is trying to knock somebody out of the game, like Vontaze Burfict does, but then you can also tell when somebody's just trying to take the legs out and make a tackle.
Yeah.
That's where we need common sense.
A little Louisville talk. Trying to find out what's going on with Louisville and Bobby Petrino and who's going to be the next coach there. We are planning to be joined by Mark Enos up there in Louisville. Covers Louisville football, basketball, host of The Drive 93.9 there in Louisville. He has a show from 3 to 6. We'll be joined by Mark Enos coming up next if nothing messes up. So let's just make sure nothing messes up.
Say a prayer during the break.
Swain Event, be right back.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Gentlemen, when it comes to taking care of your health, sometimes the first step is the hardest. Low T Center is making it easier to take that first step. It all starts with knowing the numbers that are essential to a man. Testosterone levels, blood pressure, cholesterol, prostate, and thyroid. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to get all these levels checked and more. Low T Center specializes in men's health and has expanded their services, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, hypertension, severe allergies, high cholesterol, diabetes, and annual physicals, along with testosterone replacement therapy. The physicians at Low T Center not only want to help you feel good again, they want to help you prevent any serious health problems moving forward. Now, with the holistic approach to your overall health and wellness, Low T Center is making it more convenient for men to take care of their health, and most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify for you. Take the first step for your health and call 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388, or go to lowtcenter.com. Beatty.com, reinventing men's healthcare.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices. And during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted. Like a new Silverado, now 25% off. A new Equinox, now 20% off. And a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP include auto savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GM. Offer expires 8/31/18.
Big Orange football is better alongside another Tennessee tradition, Mrs. Grissom's salad. Mrs. Grissom's ready-made snacks and meals are perfect for game day. Crowd favorites like the select pimento cheese and cranberry pecan chicken salad are delicious and easy to grab and go right from the grocery store. Going to the game? Visit Mrs. Grissom's in Vol Village for the must-have panini grilled pimento cheese hot dog. Man, select the best. Select Tennessee's own Mrs. Grissom's.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Tennessee, Louisville. Oh, yeah. Tennessee, Louisville. Mark Ennis, host of The Drive, 93.9 there in Louisville. His show is from 3 to 6. He joined us via the B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Fantastic. Louisville's undefeated 3-0. Tennessee is undefeated. Got a great matchup between Louisville Basketball School, great basketball program, different coach than what we're used to seeing. And I guess my first question is, how has the players adjusted to not having their Hall of Fame coach there? How have the fans adjusted, the players adjusted, that Louisville community adjusted without Rick Pitino kind of leading the charge?
Yeah, I mean, it has been an adjustment, and I think it's still an adjustment. The guys are very different, and I mean, everything about them is very different. Chris Mack, obviously a lot younger, from a different part of the country. He sounds different when he talks. Then, with Rick, you knew you were going to get this super up-tempo, kind of frenetic pace, very aggressive defense, and Chris Mack is a pack line defense guy. And they're very good on the offensive end so far this year. Chris Mack loves social media. Rick Pitino hated social media. So, it's been an adjustment for players. It's been an adjustment for fans. But they're winning games. They're lining up quite a good recruiting class, and that always makes the transition quite a little bit easier.
Mark, I got a couple questions here. One that's actually a basketball question, but first I'll ask you this. You mentioned Rick Pitino didn't like social media, but he's got himself a Twitter account now, likes to call his Twitter followers Petweetos, and he's taken lots of ribbing for that. What do you think of Rick Pitino, his status right now?
It's hard to watch. I got to be honest with you guys. I feel like I've got a pretty good idea what Rick is like in real life, and to watch him basically pay somebody to run a Twitter account for him, that to me it isn't like him at all. It's surreal to watch this Twitter account just sort of masquerade as Rick. But he's one of those lifers. Like, basketball's all he thinks about. It's all he wants to do. It's all he does. And to watch him sort of struggle to move into the next phase of his life is honestly not terribly enjoyable for me to watch. And I hope at some point he sort of figures it out. Or maybe, just maybe, he could be like Jim Calhoun, get his name cleared, and go coach at some funky place again in his career. But Pitino, the social media podcaster, is very weird for me. I'm not going to lie.
I do hope he gets back. He's an amazing basketball coach. But in terms of an actual basketball question here for you, who are some of the players that Tennessee fans need to be looking out for tomorrow, and how do you think they match up with UT?
For Louisville, I think I don't know that you would have necessarily thought this coming into the year, but 3 games into it, I think everything goes through Stephen Enoch. He's a big center. Chris Mack loves kind of a Golden State 4 out, 1 in kind of style, and Enoch is that guy. He's very athletic, can really move for a guy that size, and has surprised, I think, all of us with his ability to kind of pick and pop and knock down a couple threes so far this year, too. So a pretty versatile big guy that gives them a lot of options. And then kind of from night to night, it's somebody different. Jordan Juarez, a really kind of versatile 4 guy that can also knock it down from the outside. Some nights he's the guy. VJ King, some nights he's the guy. And then they mix and match whatever production they can get from the other guys. But if Louisville's going to have a chance against Tennessee, they're going to have to get big nights from those 3 in particular.
Mark, I want to ask you about just Louisville athletics in general. Us Tennessee folks, we feel like we've been through a lot with Tennessee athletics, with the AD search, football coaches, basketball scandals. But you may have had it worse than us over the last 24 to 36 months. Can you just walk us through what it's been like to cover Louisville athletics these last couple of years?
Did you guys have a football coaching search? I hadn't heard anything about that.
Oh, yeah. Everyone told us how we should hire Graciano because he's just this great coach. Yep, people told us that.
Yeah, listen, I just want you to know from afar, and I think that Charlie can vouch for me here, I was always on your side in the uprising against Greg Schiano from minute one.
Yep.
Was always on your side. But as far as the last 24 to 36 months, yeah, look, we had here in Louisville, College Game Day. Louisville was in the top 10, hosting Clemson, College Game Day, and Rick Pitino was the celebrity guest picker, and Tom Jurich was still the AD, and literally a year and a half later, none of those people work here. Like it is remarkable what has happened here. A 20-year AD, a 20-year basketball coach, and a coach in his 9th year overall as the football program, a Heisman Trophy winner, and all of that went away in a year and a half in scandal. And it has been nothing short of whiplash, I think, for everybody. But the nice thing, and I don't think anyone could have predicted it, is so far they have really hit home runs in the replacement for each one.
Yes.
And the football coach, I think, will be the next challenge. And I think they've got a good shot at getting Jeff Brom. But so far, the nice thing is they seem to have landed on their feet in each of those cases. But, yes, it has been a complete whirlwind around here.
Well, there's been some reports. Well, one report that Jeff Brom is a lock and that he's going to be announced here in a few days. Is it that obvious there in Louisville that it's going to be Jeff Brom who played there in Louisville?
You know, I think that that one report from Dan Dockich, if there's anybody that doesn't know what's happening here, it's Dan Dockich. But I will say the basketball search went very much like this, that everyone knew that Vince Tyree, the new athletic director, had one guy on his mind, and it was going to be Chris Mack, and he zeroed in on him, and the minute that it was time to go get it done, he went and got it done. And I do think the football search will go pretty much like that. Like, I'm not sure that you'll even hear about a second candidate. But I think that they're working extremely hard not to derail Brom's last game. He's in an utter rebuild at Purdue. They're trying to get bowl eligible for the second year. And I think that the last thing they want to do is sort of mess with that.
Yep.
But I think that they will end up with that. And, again, if you could tell Louisville folks 2 years ago, listen, these three guys are going to be gone. But we're going to replace them with the son of a guy whose jersey is retired in the rafters as the AD, and Chris Mack and Jeff Brom. I think they'd take it.
I thought Nebraska did a really good job of just respecting Scott Frost's time there at Central Florida, letting him go out the right way and not making it about them while Central Florida still had games to play. And it looks like Louisville's going to do the same thing. I mean, what Brom has been able to do at Purdue, they beat Ohio State. He's been able to recruit some top talent there. I mean, we all know it's hard for Brom to pass up Louisville. But I think there's a way to do it. And for Louisville to let Purdue finish out, fall back a little bit, I think that's what the kids deserve at Purdue.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think Vince feels the same way. You know, the athlete experience has been a big thing that he has sort of preached. It's really one of the reasons why they went ahead and fired Bobby with 2 games left is basically the players were like, this is hell every day. And they had – I mean, Louisville had players that were transferring like in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
You know, and when that's happening, I mean, you know what it's like. When that's happening, guys are bailing out, and you got to do something, and that's what they did. And so I think, yeah, he is trying to avoid inflicting something like that on Purdue. And when you mentioned, you know, Jeff Brom, one of the nice things he's done is recruit some good talent there. In particular, he's recruited some good talent there from here. You know, Rondale Moore is from Louisville, and he should be playing for Louisville, and Jeff Brom beat them for him. And he's done it again this year with a couple of kids in the city as well. And I think it's one of the reasons why people are anxious to get him, because that guy clearly knows how to recruit guys in this city.
Tennessee had a basketball commitment over the summer, Kwan Four, who ended up decommitting and going to Louisville as a grad transfer. What has Kwan Four meant to the Louisville basketball team through a couple games this season, and just how important is he to that roster?
Well, he was vital. I mean, they desperately needed, in particular, some backcourt help with Quentin Snyder and Dingadell and these guys leaving for the graduation last year and then being adult leaving for the NBA, they badly needed backcourt depth. And in particular, they really needed, I think, some ball handlers and some guy with some quickness. And Quan's kind of been both. He's not starting. You'll see tomorrow, Christian Cunningham and Darius Perry. But what they've needed is a guy that can fill in at both spots. And Quan, when needed, has been able to do both of those. Really good defender, really athletic, not a great shooter, but he's been desperately needed in several stretches through these first 3 games as a guy that can just kind of give him a little bit of a change of pace off the bench as well.
Mark, Matt Jones of KSR is a good friend of this show, and we all follow him on Twitter, and he won't ever let you guys forget the whole scandal with Rick Pitino, and I'm just thinking about it now. Is anything ever really going to come of any of that, do you think? I mean, obviously they self-imposed postseason or a postseason ban, but is anything else ever happening there?
So this is what it's like to be us. I'm going to have to ask a clarifying question. Which scandal are you referring to?
I didn't want to say it, I guess, if kids are listening, the whole prostitute thing and
That's
all
sure,
that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, there's nothing else. I mean, look, they had the 2013 national title vacated. You know, they self-imposed. There's nothing else really there. But the reason I'm asking you that is now they're going to have to wait and see if there's going to be any punishments for this FBI stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I was kind of asking you, like, which one are you referring to? No, they're out of the Katina Powell shadow there, but now they're just sort of waiting on the next one. And I think if you are a Louisville fan, the scary part is you get put on probation, and then this FBI stuff happens, and Louisville's going to be dubbed a repeat offender. They're going to get a pretty harsh punishment, depending on how the NCAA chooses to handle all these FBI things. And I think Louisville's fondest hope is that they'll just sort of treat them all in block, like this was a systemic problem for everybody. Because if they mete out punishments individually, Louisville's going to be dubbed a repeat offender, and they're going to be in some trouble.
Mark, for those that we got some Vol fans that live in Louisville, we got some sports fans that love covering and listening and hearing about other teams besides their own. How can people follow you and kind of follow your work up there in Louisville?
Yes, so we're on the radio every day, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday on 93.9. You can listen to us at 939theville.com. You can stream it there, and you can follow me on Twitter at Mark Ennis. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's good to talk to y'all.
Hey, thank you so much, Mark. Really appreciate your time.
Good stuff.
Anytime, guys.
Good stuff from Mark Ennis there. You look at Louisville's program, you look at ours, and there's a lot of similarities, but, man, it ain't that bad. We didn't have the scandals that they had going on. I think leadership got it right, getting Chris Mack, and if they get Jeff Braun, man, they would have bounced back
in a hurry.
Very well there. So it's kind of good to look outside your own world, outside your own walls, and look at other programs. And Tennessee getting Rick Barnes, Pruitt is a football coach. There's other things he's going to have to work on with being a head coach at Tennessee, but the football part ain't one of them. That's for sure. So Looks like everything is on the up and up here. We got For What coming up next. Stay with us.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
Today looks to be sunny with a high of 69 and a low around 51. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high of 72 and a low around 61. There is a 90% chance of rain on Thursday with highs in the upper 60s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain Event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give Be Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, Be Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. Be Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call Be Dry. Reach out to Be Dry today today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team.
More than 23 million Americans have diabetes. Uncontrolled diabetes increases your chance of kidney disease, leg and foot ulcers, and even limb amputation. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and the vascular surgeons at Premier Surgical Associates urge those with diabetes to keep it under control. Manage your blood sugar levels, exercise, don't smoke, and get regular checkups. It's also important to keep your feet and legs healthy. Diabetes makes it harder for wounds and infections to heal. Diabetes is a chronic condition, but it can be managed. Visit PremierSurgical.com right now for more information. Premier Surgical Associates. Expertise you can trust.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Dan Mullen posing awkwardly with recruits.
For what?
Gators working out wearing costumes.
For what?
Vanderbilt making a sorority-style video.
For what?
Aaron Murray and David Pollock opening their mouths.
For what?
All right, it's time for what here on the Swain Event, where we highlight folks just making some very questionable decisions. Ben, Charlie, where are we going today?
Oh, you go ahead, Ben. You said you got a good one.
I do have a good one that I've been looking forward to. It happened last Thursday, I believe. But Syracuse misspells Buddy Boeheim's last name on the jersey. And the for what here is obviously you misspell a player's name on the back of the jersey. And I should clarify, this is basketball. But the head coach of the Syracuse Orange is Jim Boeheim, I guess.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce the last name. And he has a son on the team, Buddy Boeheim. How do you misspell the head coach that has been there for what, like 30, 40 years?
Yeah, like 35 years or something.
For
like
forever.
That. Yeah.
And everybody in Syracuse should absolutely know how to spell his name.
I mean, even I
misspell it.
And I know it's spelled strangely. You said it Boeheim. It's spelled Boeheim. Boeheim, I think. Like, it is weird, but my gosh, the dude's been there for like 40 years.
He's been the head coach at Syracuse since 1976. You would think that the folks that work at that university know how to spell the head coach's son's last name. Forget even just associated with the university. I guarantee you everybody in the city of Syracuse knows how to spell his last name. And you can't get it right on the back of a jersey? This is like if General Nealon was still coaching and somebody put Neeland Neeland on the back of a jersey. Like, what? What are you talking about?
It's bad.
So Syracuse basketball, whoever's in charge of doing the stitching on the back of the jersey, you get a major for what?
Terrible. I got it for what out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Thieves take frozen pizzas, hot dogs, makeup, and a grandfather's cremated ashes. Cops say. So you would think in a home invasion, in a home burglary, you would take the TV, the game system, the jewelry, things you could pawn off and maybe get some money for. No. These guys, I think it was a pack of three guys that says they slipped away in a home burglary with a selection of women's makeup, 2 frozen pizzas, a package of hot dogs, some cheese, a bottle of Jack Daniels, and the ashes of the homeowner's grandfather in an urn. Why? What? I mean, I guess maybe they're just hungry. They want to eat. You got some frozen pizzas and hot dogs and cheese, and of course Jack Daniels. You got to numb the pain of the fact that you're having to rob homes. But I got nothing. What are you doing?
I understand, man. I understand wanting Jack Daniels. That's
valuable.
Tennessee's own. Let's get to Evan. We got about 2 or 3 minutes left. Let's get to Evan. Evan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey,
How you
Evan.
doing?
Great, man. How are you, sir?
Good. I just wanted to pose a quick question and just sort of my thought behind it. So, if you're Jeremy Pruitt, what do you view as the greater risk? Do you view the greater risk, as far as the offensive coordinator, not making a move to change offensive coordinator because you want to maintain consistency and you want to avoid, any kind of turmoil or I guess turnover in the program, or is the greater risk to keep an offensive coordinator who, at best, has bright moments sometimes and really bad moments sometimes? That's just inconsistent, and that's really what he is. And the reason I say that is because I think as a fan base, I think we are willing to, right now, we are willing to tolerate not having the talent because we know where we've been in the hopes of in the future we've got the talent. But I don't think we will ever tolerate, at least in the near future, the far future, having the talent, which we will have in a couple years if this recruiting continues, and seeing the coaching on the field inhibit that talent because of poor decisions, which we saw in the last administration. I just wanted to get your thoughts on what you would do, what you would think about that.
Wow. Excellent question, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent question. And I'll have to touch on that on the other side of the break, but my goodness, what a question. So for those that did not catch that, what would be a greater risk for Tennessee and Jeremy Pruitt, changing offense coordinators or keeping the offense coordinator that you currently have? And, wow, it's a great question. Great question.
That is an interesting question because if you do change coordinators, it'll be Jarrett Guarantano's 4th in 4 years. That is absurd. The only one worse is Wilton Spate at UCLA right now. He's in his 5th offensive coordinator in 5 years, which is remarkable. But, I mean, it's a double-edged sword because on the flip side, Tennessee's going to have a lot of offensive talent next year. You don't want to waste it on maybe a mediocre offensive coordinator.
Yeah. 865-250-503, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Hour 3 is around the corner. And, man, I can't wait to get into this answer for Evan. Great question. Swain Event, stay with us.
If you love the Swain Event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the comments, man. I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Reel on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
I had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
More than 23 million Americans have diabetes. Uncontrolled diabetes increases your chance of kidney disease, leg and foot ulcers, and even limb amputation. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and the vascular surgeons at Premier Surgical Associates urge those with diabetes to keep it under control. Manage your blood sugar levels, exercise, don't smoke, and get regular checkups. It's also important to keep your feet and legs healthy. Diabetes makes it harder for wounds and infections to heal. Diabetes is a chronic condition, but it can be managed. Visit PremierSurgical.com right now for more information. Premier Surgical Associates. Expertise you can trust.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense?
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The Berry Punch and Activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the Pure Recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain-O, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The Chocolate Gladiator and the Chocolate Shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you will feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
Gentlemen, when it comes to taking care of your health, sometimes the first step is the hardest. Low T Center is making it easier to take that first step. It all starts with knowing the numbers that are essential to a man. Testosterone levels, blood pressure, cholesterol, prostate, and thyroid. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to get all these levels checked and more. Low T Center specializes in men's health and has expanded their services, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, hypertension, severe allergies, high cholesterol, diabetes, and annual physicals, along with testosterone replacement therapy. The physicians at Low T Center not only want to help you feel good again, they want to help you prevent any serious health problems moving forward. Now, with the holistic approach to your overall health and wellness, Low T Center is making it more convenient for men to take care of their health, and most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify for you. Take the first step for your health and call 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388, or go to lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Great question from Evan right before we took our top of the hour break. That question was, what is the biggest risk for Jeremy Pruitt? Keeping the offense coordinator or getting a new one, Tyson Helton? Let's throw out some facts here. Tyson Helton is finishing up his first year of a 3-year deal worth $1.2 million per. And so if you get a new offensive coordinator, if you decide to let him go and get a new offensive coordinator, you'll be paying more buyout money. If he goes on his own and gets another job, then you're good there. You save that money. Number 2, Jarrett Garantano will be on his 4th OC in 4 years if he is the guy next year, which I anticipate him being. You'll be on your 4th offense coordinator in 4 years. You will possibly, if you get Darnell Wright and Wanye Morris and they play well when they get here, you will possibly be starting 2 true freshmen on the offensive line. You have a first-year coach in Pruitt that will be entering his 2nd year. You have a freshman quarterback right now, JT Stroud, that will be a redshirt freshman next year because he's redshirting. So he'll have to learn a whole new offense during the spring when he just had to learn a whole new offense this past fall. You will be bringing in Brian Maurer. He'll have to learn a new offense regardless, but he'll be coming into a situation where he will have to just simply believe the word of the head coach about what offense they're going to run, not based on what he's seen Tennessee run. Because if you change, the coordinator would be new. There's going to be a risk either way. And the risk is if Jeremy Pruitt feels like that Tyson Helton calls losses, then that's an issue. And it might be Pruitt's first major mistake as a head coach if he were to change offensive coordinators after 1 year, because he knew how important it was to get a coordinator with him calling the defense, with him being a defensive-minded coach. He knew how important this position was for the offensive coordinator. And to go out and get a guy that had never coordinated at this level before, that was a big risk. And that would be a major fail if Jeremy Pruitt were to change his mind. And that happens. Coach Fulmer made a terrible decision bringing in Dave Clawson. It was a terrible fit. That happens. Coach Orgeron brought in Matt Canada, did not work out, and now he is in the discussion for Coach of the Year in the SEC. So sometimes you hire the wrong dude. Sometimes you hire the wrong dude to get you fired. Sometimes you're able to bounce back and recover. Ed Orgeron was in his first year last year. He was able to bounce back and recover. The benefits here is you have a group of wide receivers that they'll be in the second year in this system. They'll not only have a greater understanding of the offense, but they'll feel very, very comfortable in the offense. And when you feel comfortable, you're able to play faster. You're not as decisive as much. I saw a pass from Jared that landed not out of bounds, but about 2-3 yards from out of bounds. It was a throw to Josh Palmer. And people will look at that and they'll look at the quarterback. But I was looking at Josh Palmer saying, hello, Palmer, are you going to make a move and hurry up and get out of,
He's taking forever.
He's stuttering and shaking and jiving and trying to release. Dude, release and get vertical. It took him forever. It was a terrible play by Josh Palmer. It was terrible. And I love me some Josh Palmer. I think he has a chance to be really, really good. He's a sponge. He has good hands, great athleticism, speed. But I'm pretty sure Yak Johnson is talking to him about that. Again, this is his third year playing wide receiver, about this is the SEC. We don't have time for you to be taking forever to get into your route. And so with Helton coming back, you have just a more of a comfort level if you play on this and play in this offense. If I was leaning one way today, I would lean towards retaining Tyson Helton. I thought he had a really good game playing against Kentucky, a good game playing against South Carolina. And I remember 2014, people crapped on Mike Bajakian. And Mike Bajakian is a dang good offensive mind. He didn't have offensive line in 2013 and 2014. In 2013, he didn't have any playmakers on the outside. That's why we saw 8 reverses a game from Big Howard in 2013. So I want to see guys, when they have a line, when they have playmakers, and see what they're going to do. I think Helton has done a pretty good job developing Jarrett. I do. But coordinating and being a quarterback coach are two different things. You better make sure that the philosophies are close as possible if you decide to make a move. Now, you can't go against making a move just because you're afraid of your players not picking it up. They should be smart enough to pick things up. You got meetings, you got summer workouts, you got spring workouts. You got plenty of time to get the offense down if you change the offense. But you don't want it to be night and day. You don't want it to be Spanish like it was in 2008 under Dave Clawson. You don't want it to be Spanish.
Definitely don't want it to be Spanish.
Yeah, you want the concepts to be close as possible. But I'm leaning towards keeping Tyson Helton. I think he's done a pretty good job recovering. And early in the season, I would have said no. But today, I think with the freshman lineman you're probably going to have, with Jared being in his second year under the same system, with these wide receivers, with everybody coming back, with the offense possibly being the strength of the team, I think it would be advantageous to have Helton back over letting him go.
Would your answer be the same if instead of if Jeremy Pruitt decided to get rid and move on from Tyson Helton? Obviously, it would be Jarrett's fourth coordinator in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Say it was going to be his second coordinator in his career. Would your answer still be the same? Because for me, that would be probably be my biggest reason as to why I would retain Tyson Helton, is to allow Jarrett Garantano some familiarity for once in his career.
For me, it's just not about Jared, though. It is about you possibly playing two freshman linemen. It is about, this defense that I don't think will be the strength of the team next year. Not saying they're not going to be good, but I think when you look at our offense and you see all these guys coming back, it's hard not to look at them at the strength. Okay, if they're going to be the strength, let's allow them to be the strength and really go on all cylinders. I think they lose a step because they're trying to learn a new offense. They're trying to play within a new offense. I mean, it took a little bit for us to kind of figure out our personnel at the beginning of the season. I mean, we had to really scheme up defenses to try to protect our quarterback, and that showed in the Auburn game a ton. Today, I'm just leaning towards Helton, and all of it doesn't have to do with the quarterback. It's a small piece. It's not the entire piece. It's not the entire reason, but it's a small reason for sure.
How much credence do you give to this? Because I think this is a real point. You've touched on it a little bit already, but J-Rod on the text box said, changing offensive coordinators to me is a for what moment. Helton is handicapped with the O-line, and give him credit for the game plans that beat two top 20 teams. We had more explosive plays in 2 games than we had all of last year.
I agree. No, I do.
Yeah, I do too.
I agree, but you can't dismiss Pruitt's comments after the game. They were not complimentary of Helton's play calling. I'll tell you that. When he talked about running the ball when we're not supposed to run the ball into certain fronts, I mean, who else are you talking about there? That's the Helton. And is he cool with that? I don't know if I would be cool with my head coach calling me out like that. Yeah. If I'm a coach, if a player, that's one thing. But if a coach, does Helton want to deal with that?
That's another dynamic that people always point to. If Helton doesn't come back next year, it's because, he can't call plays and the game plans are piss poor. To me, the biggest thing is, what about the staff and the way they're gelling together? Because, I mean, it's no secret, Pruitt and Helton haven't had the greatest of years working together this year. I mean, you see it on the sideline.
Yeah.
It was on TV 2 weeks ago against Kentucky. I saw it in the stands this past weekend when Pruitt or Helton called a run play. It was stuffed. I want to say it was a loss of 2, 3, 4 yards. And I watched Pruitt. Pruitt was on the complete opposite side of the sideline, and he quickly ran, but I mean, he was like an old person in the mall, speed walking to get down to Helton, and got into him a little bit, not as much as in the Kentucky game, but was kind of pointing, and I could tell he had some words for him. So there, I don't know that I would say the relationship has been the greatest. So I do think that's a big aspect of making a change as well.
Yep. Someone earlier on the text box mentioned this team not improving from last year to this year, which I don't even understand how you push in on that one, because Tennessee has 2 SEC wins, and those 2 SEC wins are against the top 25 team. So I don't know what you're looking at right there. Last year, this team was fighting with each other, had several incidents in the locker room. You've had 0 of those this year. You have 2 SEC wins. You should have had 3 against South Carolina. You played well enough to win for 3.5 quarters. I don't understand how anyone can look at this team and go, oh, they're not even better than last year. Huh? What? With the number 1 strength of schedule in the country at this point? I mean, I don't understand what you're looking at there.
I think Vaughn Birmingham makes a good point as well. It depends on maybe who you can get. I agree with that as well. If you can go, I'm not saying Hugh Freeze in particular, but if you can get a Hugh Freeze level offensive coordinator, somebody at that level who you know is the offensive genius and an innovator, I would strongly consider it.
Yeah, if you could get a truly proven guy like that, I wouldn't be as hesitant as I am, because I certainly, when I approach this question, I think, God, you just don't want to give Jared another OC.
Unless it's Lane Kiffin.
Well, sure.
Someone like that.
Or Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, someone like that. And even, I don't know about Hugh Freeze, because Hugh Freeze ran a system I don't know if Pruitt is down with.
Yeah.
Kiffin would be a little bit better. And, I see like some folks on Twitter is like, why even bring that up? That's a no way in chance possibility. Don't think it hasn't been talked about or discussed or thought about. It has been. But Kiffin's tweet throwing shade at former kind of
nip that one in the bud.
Yeah, they kind of let you know that that's already probably been shut down. So let's get to Austin Price, who joins us up next. Talk a little recruiting. See a comment here about Javonte Payton committing to Mississippi State. What does that mean for us moving forward? So we'll talk recruiting coming up next with Austin Price of VolQuest.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End BBQ has a new slew of daily specials for the fall. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the smokehouse stew, barbecue cheddar meatloaf, or the smoked turkey and dressing, which includes sliced smoked turkey and cornbread dressing paired with sauteed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and a side of turkey gravy. While Dead End offers a different specialty meal each day, you can get their hillbilly chili every day. There is always something new at Dead End BBQ. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End BBQ. The fall flavor search is over.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
November is a big shopping month. You know the big box stores are going to fight for your dollars, but do they care about anything else? Don't forget about your locally owned stores like Better Mattress. They care about way more than just your dollar, and they work harder to earn your business. That means you get a better product, better service, and better deals. During November, get an adjustable base for just $1 with select mattress purchase. That's a savings of up to $1,200. Better Mattress has prices, service, and products you can't get anywhere else. My Better Mattress adjustable base, you can get one for just $1 with select purchases at Better Mattress this month. Start shopping now at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service.
broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries. You break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Goes your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
When Austin Price walks into the press area, they play this song. This is a fact. This is Biggie Smalls. I like it when you call him Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you're a true player. Austin Price, VolQuest, joins us. Austin, good morning, man.
I'm doing great, Swain. How are you?
Was that fake news or was that the truth?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I'm telling you it's the truth. So next time you walk into the press conference, I want you to pull the song up on your phone, turn off your headphones, and play this out loud so people can know you're walking in the door.
Oh, geez.
Move out the way. Austin Price is coming. Get out of his seat. Big Papa's here. Austin Price. All right, Austin. Man, I thought Javonte Payton was liking Tennessee. He decommitted from Ole Miss, and then he went to Mississippi State. So that means it looks like Jaden Ellis and Chaffee Brown is going to get the attention from Tennessee moving forward. But what happened there with Javonte Payton?
You know, I just Payton kind of fell in love with what they were offering to Mississippi State, Jason. And the more and more he talked to people down in Starkville, there were some people there like Lance Guidry, who's from the Mid-State, just kind of bought into what Coach Moorhead was selling. And I'm not surprised he didn't pick Tennessee, but I am kind of surprised of when he picked Mississippi State. I thought this one would drag out, and surprised that he picks them before Thanksgiving and doesn't visit Tennessee again. And we'll be interested to see if Tennessee still tries to get him on campus in the month of December and tries to flip him again, or they just sell out on Chaffee Brown. Jalen Ellis is a guy we've talked about, but until he makes it here for a visit, I mean, how serious can you make Tennessee a contender?
Well, I guess since you have some question marks about adding speed on the outside, I guess you really have to try to recruit Jalen McCleskey even that harder, right?
Yeah, I mean, one would think. I mean, you need to add some playmakers on the outside. You need to add speed. And, Peyton seemed like he was the best of all those guys just because he was a little older, which helps. And then, it obviously hurts on the, number of years of eligibility, but, like, coming in and, being more mature and ready to adapt to the Division I game. And then, two, he was bigger. He's 6'2", and was running in the 4.4. So, interested to kind of talk to more people, over on, this campus and find out, was this something where they just felt really good about Chaffee Brown and, they weren't been out of shape that, Javonte Payton went elsewhere, or are they kind of scrambling on this Tuesday right here before Thanksgiving?
Austin Price here on the Swain Event from VolQuest, VolQuest.com. You can follow Austin on Twitter at Austin Priceless. Give us the updates on Jerry Gantano, Marquez Callaway, and I know it's Tuesday, so it may be a little early. They took a little shot on Saturday, so it may take some time to get the butterflies out. But from what you've heard, how are they feeling, and maybe what's their status?
Well, both in black jerseys. Again, it's all about just passing the protocol, Jason. You've been down that road before. I mean, and they're going to be, extra cautious with both these guys until, they're deemed, fit for play. And, I would be shocked if both don't play Saturday. Garantano is, he just kind of, kept a tick and, keeps taking a lick and keeps on ticking. And, Callaway, he's been just as durable. And so I'd be shocked if both those guys don't play coming up on Saturday, but especially Garantano. He's gutted himself through, some big hits all year, and really the last, year and a half, and continues to show that toughness. And he knows this team needs him if they're going to get bowl eligible Saturday.
Austin, Tennessee hosted a couple of guys over the weekend that are committed to other places. I guess the ones that come to mind, Nolan Smith and Tresman Marshall, who are both committed to Georgia. Did the needle move on either of those dudes with a visit up here to Knoxville?
I'm not sure I moved with Nolan Smith. I think he was impressed by Tennessee. He's teammates with Chris Octorogane, who's a Tennessee commitment at IMG. And, Coach Pruitt and the company, the optics, this was a no-lose situation getting one of the top 10 players in the country to campus. You don't lose from that. And, as far as Tresman Marshall, I think Tennessee's at least, got a real fighter's chance there with him just because he's extremely close with Scherer. He likes Pruitt. He played with John Mincy. He likes John Mincy. And, he and Owen Papo are close, and Papo obviously is feeling the good vibes around Tennessee right now. So, when I look at those two, if I was, going to handicap them, I'm not sure Nolan Smith picks Tennessee, but I do think Tresman Marshall, is giving Tennessee a real hard look. Obviously with Georgia being the team to beat.
One game left in the season against Vanderbilt, and Tyson Helton has had an up-and-down year. We were just talking about the possibility of him coming back next year or maybe Pruitt making a change with Jarrett having 4 coordinators in 4 years. What would you put the percentages at of Tyson Helton returning next season as of today?
I'm not sure I'm going to put the percentages at anything, but I do know that nothing would surprise me. I think you have to let the rest of the season play out. They've shown flashes at times as an offense, but at other times they're just way too predictable. Like the Carlin Fields and me play Saturday. The only new wrinkle to that was instead of getting it on the jet sweep, the first time around he, passed and then reversed back and and then ended up getting fumbling the football. So, shown flashes. I think they've grown, in certain areas, especially Tyson Helton as a play caller. But they've got to be better going forward. And, I'm sure that, just like he will with every coach he has, he'll evaluate at the end of the season. He's a first-time head coach with a first-time staff, and not every hire is going to be perfect, so I'm sure he'll evaluate at the season's end.
Austin Price here on the Swain Event. I like Ty Chandler's ability in space. He's a game breaker, but he doesn't always hold up in pass protection. And you can look at Jared getting clocked there in the first possession and see why the guys like Nick Saban and Pruitt coming in like the bigger backs. What's Tennessee's plan to maybe recruiting one of those guys? Because you look at Eric Gray, who Tennessee's in a good place for. He doesn't look like that type of big back that this staff and the Alabama staff normally like to get. What do you think the game plan there at running back?
Well, you're running out of spots.
Yep.
And so you've got to decide, do you want to take 2 backs in this class, or do you want, where do you want to add, down the stretch with just a couple of spots left? Obviously there's a couple of guys I don't think will end up in this class that are currently committed, but, you have more holes and needs than you do spots. And so I'm not sure they feel that in this class, Jason. I think in a perfect world they add a bigger back and Eric Gray. I'm not sure that that's a real possibility. Maybe you look at Princeton Fant, moving him back to running back at the end of the year, and letting him grow through spring practice again, see how he does. I think that's a real possibility, just to have a bigger back. I don't think they'll go the grad transfer route. They did that with Madre London, and I think that one's proved to be, a waste.
Austin, we just got this question from a caller and just want to lay it on you because it was really interesting. What's a bigger risk for Jeremy Pruitt, keeping Tyson Helton or finding a new OC during this offseason?
Unless you've got a slam dunk guy, I just don't see making a move. Because you're right. You go down that road and, who's out there and who's willing to come. And, you're going to be paying $2.4 million to get out of Tyson Helton if you go in a different direction. That's why I continue to say just let the season play out and let's see what happens. Just because things don't sit well at first don't mean that they can't get better over time. And Chip Lindsey. He's been a train wreck at Auburn. I just think unless you've got a clear-cut guy, it just makes no sense to make a move at all.
Jeremy Pruitt, man, making an appearance at the quarterback club, something that Pruitt doesn't do backflips for, and that's public appearances. We know he likes being in the film room, talking on the phone to recruits. Anything that stood out to you yesterday during the whole quarterback club?
No, he talked a lot about pass protection, RPOs. I just think that he's getting better as a head coach with understanding his time, dealing with the media, dealing with the fans. And I don't think that's something that he necessarily cringes at anymore. Again, when you've never done it and you're forced to do it in a lot of ways, it's different. And but as he's gotten more experience with it, I think Jeremy Pruitt's fine with it. The coaches show. I think he kind of relishes the fact that most people are tweeting out pictures and that kind of thing. He's not a huge fan of it. Don't get me wrong. But it's not like that he just walks in there and is like, "Oh, let's get this over with. I hate this." It's just kind of like, all right, let's get it done, and let me get my focus turned back on my team and my recruits.
If Tennessee beats Vanderbilt on Saturday, what bowl game do you think Tennessee ends up in, or what bowl game are you hearing that Tennessee may end up in?
I think that's a slam dunk. I think that's the Liberty Bowl in Memphis. They're praying pretty hard that Tennessee can win Saturday and they get the ball. They've been at Neyland Stadium and have been around Tennessee's program basically the last month. And every time you go to your seat in the press box, there's a flyer for the Liberty Bowl. I would be shocked if it's not Memphis and the Liberty Bowl. They're really, really coveting Tennessee because Tennessee's not been there. And, they would love to have Tennessee back out there at the Liberty Bowl. Tennessee's not been there in a long time. And Tennessee's not played out in West Tennessee in a while. So, you go back to, Tyler Bray's freshman year with Derek Dooley when Tennessee won out in November to make the Music City Bowl, the last time Tennessee played in the city of Memphis.
It is Tuesday, Austin. You didn't feel well on Sunday. Why are you still sick? They make
drainage, my friend. I'm not sick. I feel totally 100%. It's just my voice. It's just drainage. It's just a lot of snot, Swain.
Can you laugh if someone says something funny?
I can. I'm better in that regard. I'm much better in that regard. I can laugh and have a good time and not have the smoker's cough.
Yeah, because on Sunday you would laugh, and you sound like our good friend Steve from Lexington, who calls in and asks about recruiting. Who calls in Knoxville radio for years and years with the that's how you sound on Sunday. So it's good that you sound better, that you can at least laugh.
Jason. I guess I could do like a half Pruitt, half Steve from Lexington. Jason, can you tell me about that Crouch guy?
Sorry, Coach. I think he likes Clemson, man. You might want to focus on Eric Gray and some of those guys.
All I know is I'm looking at some Christmas ornaments right now and just wondering where Troy Fleming is, Jason.
Oh yeah, man. Because his hair is interesting, man. His hair is interesting. He's on pace for competing with Mikael McDaniel there with that hair, man. I love Mikael's hair. It's awesome. I'm jealous because I don't have any. All right, Austin, man. Really appreciate your time. Tennessee basketball plays tomorrow, and it's going to be fun. We'll see what happens with early signing period. We'll see what happens this week with some of these recruits, and hopefully Tennessee can close. I think they will, but really appreciate your time on a Tuesday. Let me ask you this: with all the visitors in town, is there one person that you feel really confident about that possibly will commit or sign with the early signing period that we maybe don't know about, haven't talked much about?
No, I think everybody kind of knows who those targets are.
Okay.
Eric Gray, I think, was in town this weekend, and you feel like Tennessee is in a good spot there.
Mm-hmm.
whether it be offensive line. I'm interested to see what Darnell Wright does. His season ended last Friday. Does he try to take some visits now through, the early signing period and then just try to make a decision and sign early? He's not one that's a fan of the process, but he wants to take some trips. And now that his season's over, does he get some trips scheduled and get that done, or is he going to drag this out to January? If I was him, I'd want to get it done, because he does not like the attention at all.
I gotta ask you one more. I'm sorry, man. Harrison Bailey, quarterback of Ramel Keaton, tweeted out that he's going to make his announcement. It's between Tennessee and Michigan. It looks like. You hearing anything there?
Well, Harrison doesn't do a lot of talking, so I don't have a real good feel for this one. But in talking to people in the Atlanta area and Marietta, I continue to hear the word smoke screen with the Tennessee visit this past weekend. Interested to see if he makes it to Michigan maybe on Sunday this week, coming out of Thanksgiving, after the Wolverines play on Saturday in Columbus.
Gotcha.
Interested to see if that happens. I think that'll be a real tale if he's able to sneak up there and get a visit in. But don't have a great feel for that one, Jason. The kid just doesn't do a lot of talking.
Gotcha. Thanks, Austin, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too. Yeah, a lot of talk about Harrison Bailey. He's a 2020 quarterback. He's a quarterback at Marietta High School. Ramel Keaton's quarterback, Tennessee, wide receiver commit. I got some people there telling me it's Tennessee. I got some people telling me it's Michigan. So it's been a little bit of a mixed bag there. Swain Event. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Today looks to be sunny with a high of 69 and a low around 51. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high of 72 and a low around 61. There is a 90% chance of rain on Thursday with highs in the upper 60s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain Event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give Be Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, Be Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. Be Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call Be Dry. Reach out to Be Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call Be Dry.
It's almost football time in Tennessee, which means it's time to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Tommy Bahama, and all those retro logos you love. Don't forget about your game day crew. Plenty of selection for the ladies, the little balls, and to upgrade their tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy. VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense?
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The berry punch and activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the pure recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain-O, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The chocolate gladiator and the chocolate shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you will feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
If you aren't following the Swain Event on Twitter, then are you even on Twitter? Hit that follow button. It's the right thing to do.
Oh, look at Ben, man. He's versatile with the bumper music this morning. Rocking the
I thought you were going to mention my shirt. That's why I unzipped my jacket.
It's
a fancy shirt for recruits.
It's a nice shirt, man. Andy's showing off his tattoos and Ben is showing off his shirt.
You want me to show you my chest?
No.
Show us your tattoo.
No. I'm pushing everything over here. No.
Well, all right, let's go back to the original comment about me being versatile.
Huge turnover.
with the music. I've been
off the weed.
That's not a problem. The past week, I have been very versatile with the music since you said something about it last week.
Yeah, you're coachable, man. You coachable. You're coachable.
Well, see, my problem is I'm so worried that these instrumentals are going to drop in a bad word. So
I'm with you.
I play the ones that I am familiar with.
I got you. Let's get to Jay. Jay, good morning.
Swain, good morning, brother.
Good morning, Jay.
Hey, Swain, I always love the recruiting talk. What do you think if we got, heaven forbid, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through this off season if we lose Saturday. If that happens, how does that game affect recruiting at all? I mean, does Owen Papo just say, okay, no, I don't think this is for me? I know we say usually one game doesn't matter, but I think this game's maybe a tad bit different just because of who it is and what's on the line here. Well, what do you think?
I don't think the outcome of the game is going to affect him. Kravars Couch was a guy that if Tennessee would have maybe played a little bit better, had a better record, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, but not for Papo. I mean,
I'm speaking in general.
Well, besides Crouch, I don't think it's going to be a big difference anyways because if you're Tennessee, you're selling how much we need you. If you lose, all it does is just validate what you've said. Yeah, we need you. Look, man, we win if you're out there. We need you. You got 2 top 25 wins under your belt, so you can show that, man, we coach these guys up, we develop them. You can show that. So I don't think the outcome is going to really affect these guys' decision. Now, if Tennessee lose, I don't know how I'm going to be this weekend. I'm going to be miserable.
It will be a long offseason, like Jay said.
It's going to be tough.
I won't be able to take it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
I won't either.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
That's going to be rough, man. I mean, that is going to be rough. Lord, please, just don't let them lose to Vanderbilt. But
I don't even want to think about it right now.
Oh, gosh. I mean, 5 out of 7, and they're going to start chanting that our state crap, and, I mean, it's just going to get rough. I mean, I'm going to have to log. I'll have to probably delete my Twitter. But can our offensive line be any better next year, guys?
Yes, because it can't get any worse.
Well, it could stay the same, Swain.
I mean, it's true.
I mean, you don't know if Trey Smith's coming back. I think Jerome Carvin shows promise. But other than that, the rest of them look anorexic. And then you got
That's
good
true.
freshmen coming in, but they're still freshmen.
Yeah, but I think they'll at least be better. I mean, you look around the country, and we are seeing freshman linemen being able to compete.
Especially at Georgia.
I mean, look at Georgia with Cade Mays, Trey Smith last year. Alabama, I mean, those freshmen will be better than what we have right now. You get Brandon Kennedy back, second year in the offensive system, hopefully if Helton is retained there. But yeah, this offensive line is going to be better than this year. This line is terrible, folks. I mean, bad. It's terrible. It's bad. I have never seen an offensive line this bad. 2014 was bad. I give this line the edge in just stinking it up. But I will give our offensive line credit, man. They continue to fight and go out there and
it's not for a lack of trying.
Yeah, I mean they're doing their best. I applaud how they came out against Kentucky. It worked out for them. Marcus Tatum had a rough day against South Carolina, but he came back and they did a good job against Kentucky. They held Josh Allen, number 1 first-round draft pick, to 1 sack. I mean, offensive line did a pretty good job against Kentucky, but they're not good enough to be consistently good to run the football and protect the quarterback. So they're not good enough for Tennessee to be successful.
Well, I hope it gets better. I mean, that's for sure because, Jason Witten was talking about it during the Rams game. He was saying it doesn't matter. The Rams are having trouble blocking the Chiefs, and he said it doesn't matter what creative plays McVay draws up or how good Jared Goff is. He said if these guys can't block the Chiefs, it just doesn't matter. None of the rest of it matters. And
True.
That's what made me think about that and think about what we're going through here at Tennessee. And that has just got to get fixed. I mean, we have got to fix that. And I think that's a pretty obvious statement. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate that, man. I want to know where Jason Witten got all his hair from because I need to holler at Witten. I'm trying to get some of that hair that Witten got. I'm trying to get some braids. Some dreads or something, man. Where did Witten get this hair from?
I thought he's always had hair.
Not like that.
I'll be honest, I didn't see it last night.
Did either of y'all watch Xavier Auburn yesterday? I think you did, but you were tweeting about it, weren't you?
Oh, Xavier Auburn, yes, I did.
Yeah. The center for Xavier is a 7-foot-tall white dude with dreads.
No.
I don't know how I felt about it.
No. He didn't have dreads.
It was cornrows. It wasn't dreads. It
wasn't just cornrows. It was 3 cornrows on the top of his head, and the rest was shaved.
It was
very interesting.
Not the hairstyle I would choose.
I think you should do it, Charlie.
But to each his own.
You got those curls up there.
and that game was great. Dang, if Xavier doesn't turn the ball over like 50 times in that game, they probably win. But
are you ready to watch Auburn keep it close with Duke tonight, like I said last week?
I'll say this. If Auburn loses by less than 12, I'll applaud them. That Duke team, and Auburn kind of like lives off of Jared Harper right now, and Duke got some really good dudes to stop it.
It'll be a fun game to watch, man. A lot of athleticism will be on that court for sure.
It's crazy.
Let's get to Vol Nation. Vol Nation, good morning.
What's up, family? How y'all doing, man?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Excited about this weekend. Well, first I'm excited about Turkey Day. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Going to Memphis. Should go into Memphis. And gonna go and eat some turkey. My mom already taking pictures of food and sending them to me. She can't wait to see us, man. So hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving holiday and enjoy your family and all.
Vol Nation, I want you to do something, man.
Yes,
something that's been going around on Twitter. It's been hilarious, but text your mom and ask her about microwaving a turkey and ask her tips about microwaving a turkey for Thanksgiving.
25-pound turkey.
Yeah, ask her about
microwave.
Yeah. That's been like a joke on Twitter where people have been posting their conversations with their mother, and the responses that people have got has been remarkable. People have posted those conversations, and the moms has basically cussed them out on text messages. Ben tried to do this with his mother, but his mom was not even interested in the conversation. What happened?
Oh, my God.
Not at all. I texted her, and she didn't text me back for like 45 minutes, and she said, I know you aren't cooking a turkey any kind of way. And then I responded, I have friends coming over, and we all chipped in for a turkey, and she didn't even text me back.
Yeah, she ain't got time for the nonsense. She ain't got time for all that. So you should do that, Vol Nation. Text your mom and let us know how it goes out.
I'll have to do that today then, because she's blowing my phone up right now.
Yeah, please do that. That'd be hilarious. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Hey, y'all were talking about Hilton earlier. I got a couple things I want to touch on, but it was, I believe he probably need to keep Hilton. You said something significant, and I've heard it before. That you said that the biggest jump for a player is between year one and year two, or freshman and sophomore's year. And I believe that, just for Jeremy Pruitt and his whole coaching staff, to include Hilton, I believe there'll be a significant jump between this year and next year, because you got that first year under your belt as a coordinator or as a head coach, and you've worked out some kinks. You've had a year under your belt together, and I believe they'll put their heads together, and especially, focusing on this recruiting class from that point forward, we'll see a different team, not just because of the players, but also because of the coaching. Well, I wanted to know what you thought about that.
Yeah, I just don't think moving Helton is the right thing to do right now. I don't think there's enough evidence to suggest that you need to do that. You're trying to build
stability.
You're trying to build stability. They haven't had much. I mean,
right.
Last year they had Larry Scott, who should never, ever have a play sheet in his hand calling plays at this level. I mean, he shouldn't. I mean, he has done nothing to earn that opportunity. And then before, you had Mike DeBoer, and Mike DeBoer did a pretty good job. You had the head coach and the offense coordinator that were on different pages about their identity. And so I just think Helton has not done enough to be fired or be replaced. I think he's done enough to have another opportunity to come back with the same players, understand these guys' weaknesses and strengths, and have an offseason of film to where you can learn from your mistakes. You can see what works. You can see how to play these guys' strengths, and then you enter your second season. I just think it's a greater risk to make that change than to keep Helton. So that's kind of how I feel today.
Yeah, that's how I agree with all that, because I truly believe that I've seen flashes, or we've probably all seen flashes of brilliance at times, when he was play calling in the Auburn game and things of that nature. And I think he's just going to build on that, and I think he'll improve even going into next year. So, and then they can, of course, always reevaluate after that. But I think they should keep him. Something you said earlier that it didn't strike a nerve or anything, but I related to it. You began to talk about the student athlete, and having a student athlete and the rigors of that, having a daughter that competed at a college level, running track and things of that nature, and watching her go through the things that she's gone through, and being a part of it. Sometimes it was kind of tough because, she would get up in the morning at 4:30, she'd go work out, and from 5 till 6:30 or whatever. Then she'd come back and take a quick shower, try to get something to eat, go to class till 2:30 in the afternoon. Then she'd be in the trainer from 2:30 to 4:30, trying to get stretched out, and they're working on her. Then she'd go to practice from 5 to 6:30 or whatever. Then she'd jump into an ice bath for that 15 minutes at 50-degree water, whatever that temperature is, and then she'd hop out, and then she'd change and try to go get something to eat, and then she'd study from 8 p.m. till midnight, and then get up at 4:30 and do it all over again. Mm-hmm. And that was, I watched her do that for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And how tired she was, but she was so passionate, because she wasn't doing it just for herself. She was doing it for her school. She was doing it for her teammates. She was doing it for her scholarship. You know what I'm saying? And so all that pressure and that weight, but also, she wanted to be successful. She wanted to be the best. And I watched her put in the work, and she became a 3-time 100-meter hurdle South Atlantic Conference champion, greatest 100-meter hurdle they've ever had, best ever in the history of the conference. But it was a sacrifice. It sacrificed her body to be able to do that. And, I realized that, from a perspective as a parent, I have a different perspective when I look at these kids. But, we're all fans, and we love our sport and things of that nature. And we're just hypercritical. That's just how we are, because we're bent that direction, that way, as humans, you know what I'm saying? And because we want the best. We want our teams to be successful. But they aren't professionals. They're not getting paid. It's not. They only have those 20 hours a week that they are supposed to be, out there training and preparing and things of that nature. And I think sometimes we put a lot of pressure on these kids, and they already feel it because they want to win for each other. They want to win for the coaches. They want to win for themselves. They want to win for the school. But then the weight that we put on them sometimes can be a tad bit overwhelming, and I think a little unfair. Because Garantano, he is the best choice. He is excellent right now for what he's doing. He's getting better. Like you said, this is his first year, and really being coached. I mean, if we don't realize by now that Coach Jones was a good used car salesman but wasn't a coach, we don't need. We need to have our VFL card pulled or something. But this young man is growing in leaps and bounds. I believe he'll be even better next year, and I believe there'll be better competition too because some of the quarterbacks that might be coming in are really good.
I can't wait, Vol Nation, and thanks for the phone call. I can't wait for Jared to compete. And let me just lay this out too before we wrap up today's show. Like I sat back and saw comments like, man, you can't fire Butch Jones because then Jared will leave. Jared's here. Jared wasn't about to transfer. Jared should have been playing the whole time last year. Have y'all looked at Houston football? Have y'all seen Houston football? Do y'all see where Quentin Dormany is in on the depth chart?
Well, he's about to be starting this weekend because Derek King.
Been sitting on that bench, though.
Tore his ACL this past weekend. Unfortunate injury for such a talented player. But to your point,
they put the freshman in.
Oh, he did? Wow. The game was a blowout, so I did not see that. But I believe last I checked, Quentin had 4 passing attempts on the season.
I mean, you would think a guy that's starting at Tennessee can go start at Houston. So they let you know about the political BS that was going on this past year. So Jared went through all that, and he stayed. He didn't leave. He could have left, but he stayed. He stayed to compete. With a brand-new coaching staff, he stayed to compete. So I can't wait for those guys to compete because competition makes you better. When you run faster when someone's chasing you.
Dang, you're right. They didn't put him in.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my word. I didn't realize that.
Quentin Dormany's buried on the depth chart.
They
Third
were
at Houston.
Yeah, they were blowing out Tulane, so I turned it off. And I saw on Twitter that he got hurt, and I just assumed that with Dormady being a grad transfer and a senior that they would put him in. But it looks like he's only played in one game and was 2 for 5, passing with 8 yards.
Major Applewhite, is he offense coordinator or defense coordinator?
Offense coordinator.
Did Major Applewhite play wide receiver or quarterback in college?
Quarterback.
Oh, okay.
He's played in 2 games this year, and they were the first 2 games of the season. He played at Rice, where he did not attempt to pass, and then played against Arizona the following week in a blowout and was 2 of 5 for 8 yards.
So I hope that explains a little bit of the stuff that was going on last year, and folks can understand like what JG battled through in that locker room.
Jeez.
Okay? All right? And here he is, third offense coordinator in 3 years, and he's only thrown 2 picks all season long.
But he can't read coverages and read blitzes.
Whatever. Just try to let folks know, try to educate you a little bit. Quentin Dormany is not even an option at Houston, but he was starting for Tennessee last year.
And somehow threw for 3 or 4 touchdowns against Georgia Tech.
Well, Callaway made a play on a hitch route, took it to the house, and then on the deep pass where Dormany threw it and like 3 or 4 guys around, Callaway bailed him out just like he bailed Kelly Christ out on Saturday on one of those throws. So, I mean, we got to see all the facts there. All right, tomorrow we will do a show tomorrow for Thanksgiving Eve. Ben McKee, Charlie Burris, and Jason Swain. Have a great day. We're out.
You know what? The holiday season reminds me of SEC football.